This week, in Grosse Pointe Park, Michigan, the horrible discovery of a brutally murdered woman in her car looks like it might have been common street crime until detectives discover her seemingly upstanding husband's affairs and secret life as a BDSM dungeon master. Welcome to Small Town Murder. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Small Town Murder.
Yay!
Yay, indeed, Jimmy. Yay, indeed. My name is James Petrogallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmy Wisman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us today on another wild, crazy, absolutely insane edition of Small Town Murder. You have chosen correctly. If this is your first episode, buckle up. It's going to be a wild, weird one, so enjoy, everybody. Let's just say that. Before we get to all of that, definitely head over to shutupandgivememurder.com. You need to get your tickets for live shows and merchandise. There's all sorts of new merch up. Church of the Octopus is up, so you can check that out. Do that. Get yourself tickets to live shows here. Next shows with tickets available is going to be after the summer. September 18th in Milwaukee, September 19th in Minneapolis. Milwaukee, those are almost sold out. Get your tickets now at the Paps. Minneapolis, get those damn tickets.
Let's go.
Don't let Milwaukee punk you.
Don't dilly-dally.
Milwaukee, they're gonna make fun of you for the whole 2 more years till we come back. So you don't want to do that. And then, of course, October 3rd in Dallas, October 16th and 17th in San Jose and Sacramento, and November 13th and 14th in Terrytown and Boston. So get in there, get your tickets. Shut up and give me murder.com is where you do that. Also, of course, listen to Crime in Sports, which is right now we're doing a long series on Robert Rozier, who killed upwards of 10 people and was in this crazy cult. There's about 10 minutes of sports in a multi-part series. So it's more about cults and murder. So check that out. And also your stupid opinions, because it's just hilarious.
Because it's amazing.
It's just funny and a great show. So do that. And then also get yourself Patreon.
Oh, yeah.
Do that. Patreon.com/crimeinsports is where you get all of the bonus material. Anybody $5 a month or above, you are going to get every damn thing we put out. As soon as you subscribe, you're going to get almost 400 back bonus episodes you've never heard before. Huge catalog to binge on. And then after that, every other week, you get new episodes, 2 of them, as a matter of fact. 1 Crime in Sports, 1 Small Town Murder, and you get them all. This week, what we're going to do for Crime in Sports, it's theme park disasters. Wow. We're going to go back to that again. Those are so much fun. We're going to do that. Then for Small Town Murder, and by the way, we have the prisoner dating game coming up in a couple of these.
Coming up.
It is going to be viewer's choice on this one.
Okay.
Do you want to talk about the crash? The Mackenzie Shirilla mess, or do you want to talk about Corey Richins and her sentencing? And there's so much more that didn't come out during the trial about what was going on that night of the murder and all that. Which one would you like to hear? They're both insane.
We just do both?
That's what I would like to do, but we'll do them successive weeks, and then after that, it'll be the prisoner dating game either way. But do that. That'll be a poll up on Patreon. So
great.
Patreon.com/crimeinsports, and you get everything we put out. Everything all ad-free, all the shows we put out. And then on top of that, you get a shout-out at the end of the show where Jimmy will try to read your name, but we'll see how that goes. So
probably not.
There you go. That said, disclaimer time, everybody.
Yeah.
This is a comedy show. We're comedians, and we're going to make jokes. Now, people are also going to be murdered because the show is called Small Town Murder. It'd be weird if nobody died. You know what I mean? It's going to be false advertisement. So you go, well, how does that work? How do you do that? Tastefully is how you do it. That's right. What we do is we never make fun of the victims or the victims' families.
Why is that?
Because we're assholes.
Yeah, but
we're not scumbags.
There you have it.
That's all. That's how it works. It's very simple. There's plenty of other stuff to make fun of. The fact that someone goes, I think I can get away with this. I'm going to put this on. Bet you can't. Or even if you're trying to, we're still going to make fun of you. You know, small town police forces that let murderers go free. We make fun of that kind of thing. It's obvious there. So if that sounds good to you, you're going to hear a crazy, wild story. If you think true crime and comedy should never, ever go together, we might not be for you, but I will check it out. You know, see how it goes. Either way, no complaining later. Let's just say that. We warned you. So that said, I think it's time, everybody, to sit back. What do you say here? Clear the lungs, arms to the sky, and let's all shout. Shut up and give me murder. Let's do this, everybody.
Okay.
Let's go on a trip, shall we?
We have to.
We're going to Michigan, everybody.
Yeah.
Which you'll when you hear this episode, we'll be in Michigan that weekend.
We will.
Tickets are sold out. Sorry about that, but probably not great planning. Maybe you plan it out so to do this, and then it's sold out.
Space to promote, James.
Yeah, I should have done that earlier. Well, I guess not. It's sold out either way. So thank you for buying those tickets.
Do it a long time ago.
This is Grosse Pointe Park, Michigan.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of gross points.
What is that?
There's Grosse Pointe, which is one town. Then there's a bunch of other Grosse Pointe towns, and Grosse Pointe Park is one of those towns.
Probably named after somebody, right?
I believe so. Yeah, we'll talk about that when we get into the history a little bit here. It's in southeastern Michigan. It's only 15 minutes to Detroit from here.
No, it's right out there.
Just a burb of Detroit. 45 minutes to Washington Township, Michigan. Our last Michigan episode 657, Comedy of Horrors. That is the one where the guy was having the affair with the German au pair, the 19-year-old, and she came over and testified against him. Some horribly embarrassing shit. It was a wild episode. This is in Wayne County, just like Detroit. Area code 313. Now, a little bit of history of this town. Before it was a city, it was incorporated as the village of Fairview. Yeah. Which I guess was a chunk of Grosse Pointe Township, which is another area here. It's from 1850 to 1900. They knocked down all these woods and all that kind of thing, and basically Detroit businessmen bought up all the waterfront. That's how it worked.
Okay.
Yeah. So for a while, Grosse Pointe was Detroit's summer resort, basically. So they had giant houses and
summer resort.
Yeah, it became like the Hamptons, basically, for Detroit people. Reviews of this town. Okay, here's 5 stars. Best city to raise a family. Exclamation point. Real excited about it. Excellent public schools, 2 waterfront parks, pools, splash pad, private movie theaters. Private movie theaters?
Private?
Private. What does that mean? I don't know what that is.
I don't know how you get them private.
Yeah, then how do you go there? Person who's reviewing, current resident on niche. How do you?
Why you advertising it? Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, it's private, damn it. I can't go there. Beautiful homes that residents take pride in keeping up. Public service is second to none.
Oh.
She just described everything's perfect. 3 stars. It's a nice place to raise a family, but lacking in things to do. Better than the other Grosse Pointe communities in terms of diversity, but still has the same bourgeois feel and pressure.
Yeah.
Upper middle class, rich people bullshit. Here is 3 stars. This is fun. Very short. The weather is okay. Pretty average.
Okay, but what about the plane?
Nope, the weather's okay. And if there's one thing you'd say for Detroit, it's that the weather sucks. That's even if you loved everything about it, you'd be like, it's cold as fuck in the winter, it's hot as shit in the summer. The weather's tough here. That's what's tough with this person.
You gotta be a hardy sumbitch to survive Detroit.
Here is 2 stars, finally. Not a very safe or friendly community.
Oh.
Okay. Now, here is one that this person, it's way too big to read all of it, but they have a lot of opinions. Okay. This person says that it's a very aesthetic place to live. The neighborhoods are very nice. The schools are great. There's lots of large trees, and there's great places to walk around, and yada, yada, yada. Okay. So there's that, the good. Now the bad part. And this is 3 times as long as the good part. Okay. Grosse Pointe borders Detroit, which in my honest opinion is in all capital letters, ghetto nucleus. Okay. This guy could have been the murderer in our story this week when we get to that, because he tries to use this. They say Detroit's suburbs are the most segregated in America, and seeing how nice Grosse Pointe is, knowing how close Detroit is kind of amazing. There are actually fences blocking off streets that at one time were open. Being so close to Detroit stifles Grosse Pointe from being in any good retail and restaurants. Or bringing in any good retail and restaurants. I think because they're afraid all the Detroit riffraff will come in and frequent it. Just say what you mean.
Say what you want. Yeah.
I don't blame them, but all that does is force Grosse Pointers to drive 20 or 30 miles to suburbs like Troy or Rochester to go to places like Trader Joe's or a nice Target or P.F. Chang's. as opposed to the shit PF Chang's. That's the ghetto PF Chang's. Nobody goes to that one.
The feeling that I get from this person is real strong.
As it goes, like the visual pictures coming clear. I know what kind of I know what kind of car they drive now. Like I know it all in my head. If you have if you have to live in the Detroit area, Grosse Pointe offers a really aesthetic neighborhoody experience you will not get in any other suburb of Detroit. It's kind of expensive, though. On a side note, I sometimes feel bad always dogging Detroit, but hey, I wouldn't if it wasn't such a pit. I'm rooting for Detroit to come back, but it's not looking good. You know how far they've come in the last 25 years since the real estate?
It's pretty actually amazing. Every time we go there, I'm blown away with how beautiful Detroit is.
Well, they're really doing decent things with it, especially with all the auto companies going belly up. None of the citizens have much education or willpower. Everyone always seems to say they need help. Why can't they help themselves? I mean, how much effort does it take to pick up the trash from around your house or get a gallon of paint or cut your grass or not rob somebody? They need some good, here it is finally, they need some good role models, not T.I. or the 3-6 Mafia.
Oh, boy.
So they finally kind of said what they were getting at the whole time.
I knew what they meant.
Which is, we all know what they mean there.
Dated ass references. Why don't you just say, stop looking up to Elvis? Fuck you, dude.
Stop looking up to fucking Quincy Jones, please. Like, what are you talking about?
Wow.
People in this town. T.I. or 3-6 Mafia. If they're looking up to them, all they'll get is Oscars for best fucking music and shit like that. Don't those guys have Oscars? What are we talking about?
T.I.'s now a comedian, for Christ's sake. He gets to do anything he wants.
That either means his career went really well or really poorly in his financial planning.
I think he's just very bored and very wealthy.
People in this town, 11,529. So not a huge place, not a tiny place. More women than men by a long shot, 53.1% women. Damn.
Interesting.
I think those are divorces and they got the house.
They got everything. Yeah.
That's how that worked. Median, that has to be it, right? Median age, 42.2, so a couple of years older than the national average, but kind of suburb years of you take the kids out to the suburbs, and that's how it goes. It's 62% married here. That's well above the national average. Less single with children. It's married people with big houses and big lawns and, a couple of overprotected kids. Race in this town, 84.7% white, 9.3% black, 1.9% Asian, and 1.2% Hispanic. So religion in this town, 42% of the people here are religious, 50-50 is the national average. Sure. And the most here is Catholic, but it's not by a huge amount or anything like that. Doesn't seem like it's a big deal. But as we know, Catholics are the Baptists of the Great Lakes region.
You bet.
Why not? Unemployment here also about average. Median household income here is where it differs from the rest of the country.
This is the disparaging part.
Yes, 69,000 is the rest of the country. Here, 123,859 is the median household income. So they're doing great. It's expensive too, though. Cost of living. I believe it. Yeah. Cost of living 100 is average. Here it's only 92, so you go, that's nice. But the housing is the high part.
It's outrageous. Yeah.
Median home cost here $438,500.
It's not pricey. That bad. It's expensive.
It's expensive.
I'm impressed.
It could be worse. You know what I mean? So if we've convinced you, damn it,
here we go,
that you're tired of having T.I. as a role model or whatever the fuck you want to move here for.
Your kids looking up to
3-6 Mafia.
Juicy J.
We have for you the Grosse Pointe Park, Michigan Real Estate Report. Okay, average 2-bedroom rental here, $1,450, which is above the national average, but not outrageous.
Not by much.
No, we've seen much worse here. Yeah. First house that we have, and this is like about the cheapest thing you're going to find here, is basically it's a condo. It's like looks like a condo apartment complex where the attached houses, doors next to each other, that sort of thing. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, so technically T-bowl for all your B-holes there. 1,256 square feet, so not tiny, not a little box, decent size.
Small, but
no land on, obviously, because you're in a complex. $217,900.
Okay.
It's not terrible. I mean,
It's
if
not
you want to
awful.
live there.
Own an apartment?
If you're trying to get into the school district or something, because it's good, that makes sense. $2,000 price cut last week,
Oh,
too.
$2,000, huh?
Next up, 5-bedroom, 5-bath, T-bowl for each and every beehole, 4,203 square feet. It's a big white house with,
a lot of house.
the black shutters and the pillars in the front, and it's a nice house, and you can see by the neighbors, like there's a nice house next door.
Mm-hmm.
They have a big driveway. It's a pretty damn nice place here. $948,000 for that. Little pricey. And then finally, another 5-bedroom, 5-bath. Your beeholes are covered today, everybody. 4,630 square feet. This is on a half-acre lot. This is it's like a brick house. It's a different style house than the other one. It's not bad. Built in 1978. Inside, very nice. Looks like it's been. I like the way they have like this long kind of arcing staircase. It's pretty cool. It's a nice house. $1,300,000 for that though. So
15 minutes from Detroit. You're doing all right.
it's not bad. You're going to pay for it though. Things to do in this town. Okay. Here we go. I mean, you can go to Detroit. It's right there. That's something to do. Plenty of sports and that sort of thing. Or stick around and go to the Breakaway Music Festival.
Oh, boy.
And see a bunch of people I have never heard of.
How could they?
I don't. This is
right next to Detroit.
I don't know. This is one of those things where I look at this list and go, okay, I know I'm old now.
Yeah.
And I don't know every new artist that's coming out the first minute they're out. You know what I mean? It takes a while for me to catch up to shit because I'm busy and not looking for that.
Sure.
But I've never heard of any of these people. So I feel like it's either I'm older than I thought.
Yeah.
Or these are a bunch of people that no one's heard of. I don't know. I'm going to run them down by you, and you tell me if you've heard of any of them. Yeah. Everyone out there listening, here's two 40-something-year-old men trying to decipher whether these are popular new artists that we've just never heard of or nobodies. This is fun for everybody. Okay. Canna Bliss.
Nope.
It's a chick. I saw the picture.
Yeah.
Daniel Allen.
Nope.
I bet he has a guitar, though.
I guarantee he plays country of some sort. Yeah.
D.O.D. D.
Nope.
Dot. Like.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like B.O.B., but D.O.D.
D.O.D. Dr. Fresh with a C.H. S.C.H.
Fresh?
Dr. Fresh. Well, with an S.C.H. So it's
Okay.
Fisher. Just like you're a fisherman. Fisher.
Okay.
Gigantic Nightmare without the I in Nightmare. That's the only difference. Oh, or the
What
A.
is that?
All the vowels taken out of Nightmare. Gigantic, all the vowels you need. Nightmare, take all the vowels out. Whole thing sounds like a gigantic nightmare to me. But now I hope there's not like 18-year-olds listening going, you never heard of fucking Gigantic Nightmare?
There's nobody that's ever heard of them.
Grabbits. One word with a Z. Grabbits.
Yeah. I put that together in my head. That's amazing.
It's Murph. Oh, well, hello there, Murph.
I think maybe not.
No, I think you're just thinking of Murph the Surf from Crime and Sports.
No.
No good. No, meaning I know you. K.
Yeah.
No good.
No good. Yeah.
No good.
You should know good.
Cream with a K.
I don't like that.
I don't like that. Lost Boy J, all one word. What? I don't even know. Phrva.
Farva?
Farva, maybe? Parva, like your parvo, like your dog gets? I don't know.
A large farva?
Okay. Skilla, Skilah. Subtronics.
I've heard of that, right?
Okay, I don't know. I thought that was a brand of like turntable.
No,
I got a nice Subtronic, so I got a realistic. But you got.
I swear I've heard of that. Is it with an X?
No.
Oh, maybe not.
No X, no Z. Subtronics, one word. Twin sick, one word. Okay. Next up, two friends.
I'm so mad.
How has no one ever called their group Two Friends before? How's that not gone up by the wayside for the last 150 years of recorded music?
Yeah, Kid and Play could have done that.
We're just two friends. Anybody could have done it. Simon and Garfunkel, for Christ's sake. Kid and Play.
Hello,
you
Detroit.
Go through the years.
We are two friends.
Yeah, Public Enemy could have been that. Just Chuck D and Flava Flav, two friends.
Did you say Simon and Garfunkel?
Yeah, it's all through the years. It's different people. Whoever's been a team, it doesn't matter.
It would have been much easier to
Public
remember
enemy.
them, too. I'm sure somebody went, Simon, who's that other guy?
These two friends.
The two friends, yeah.
Oh, okay. I know
And Chris
them.
Cross could have done that. There's already
Oh.
a Christopher Cross.
How many duets are there? Duos. There's a million of them. Wookie, W-U-K-I. I guess that's Wookie. YDG. Your dick grew? I have no idea what that stands for.
I don't know.
Blue Jay, all one word, but the U has umlauts over it, so that makes it
Is
different.
that French? What is that?
Coda Leone, and the O in Coda, which is KH, by the way, has a line through it, like, like some foreign language. Low Key B2B Ronin, and that also has a slash through it.
Yeah, they've done something fascinating with now they all want some fascinating letter in there.
They invent letters and numbers and shit and just stick them in their names. Matt B, and then finally Rink with two eyes. Rink.
Like skating?
Yeah, but with two eyes.
Yeah.
Festival tickets start at, for this line. This is why I was asking if we're just old and these people are
For those
famous.
amazing, yeah.
$155.
How dare you?
That's more expensive than Disneyland. That's really expensive. Like
$155 to see, I don't even know who those are.
to see Twin Sick and Lost Boy
Rink.
Jay and Cream with a K. Okay, and Rink. Crime rate in this town, what we're interested in here. Property crime actually just under the national average, but not too far under.
Yeah.
Violent crime, murder, rape, robbery, and of course assault about half the national average. So it's pretty safe.
Great.
Pretty safe place. Yeah. That said, let's talk about some murder, shall we?
Let's do it.
Let's get into this because woof, this is twisted. Okay.
$155?
$155. I was shocked when I saw
There's
that.
got to be somebody famous in that, right?
I had to look it up on another site to make sure it wasn't like an error and it was $15 and they just fucked it up. And it was $155 everywhere. It's $155 to get into that.
That's absurd.
Ridiculous. All right. Now, we are going to, our story, a lot of it's going to take place in the 2011, 2012 range.
Yeah.
So pretty much now. I mean, different operating system on your iPhone is pretty much it. Otherwise, everything is the same, social media.
It's probably an elderly thing to say, right? Because my
Phone in your
son
hand.
was 3 then, and he just graduated high school. So
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, it's not
life
that,
is about the same.
it's about the same as far as, like, if you're sitting on your couch, maybe you're watching cable instead of streaming,
Yeah.
but you're probably watching Netflix even then. You know.
Jeans just got tight and came back to what
Yeah,
that
they just
size
go like
was.
this
then.
every once in a while, which we just keep going along with because they're like, well, fuck, we've been selling them tight jeans for 3 years, and let's make it baggy now, so they have to buy all new.
loose now.
It's been long enough where they threw out all their baggier jeans, so they won't have those to fall back on. Now we can sell them baggy jeans again.
We're going with short ones again now. Short denim is a thing now.
I've seen people in jean shorts now, and I'm like, okay, I know.
I'm not doing that.
Here's things we've retired permanently: jorts, mullets.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. People with mullets, you're an asshole. You're not fashionable. You're a
dumb.
jerk off.
Stop
mullets and jorts are two things that we'll never bring back, and we shouldn't. And if the kids
I'm
are
not
doing
doing
it,
it.
they're wrong. I'll be Seymour Skinner for a second. No, it's the children who are wrong. That's that moment. Okay. So there is a woman that we need to talk about here, Jane Joanne Engelbrecht. That is her maiden name, Engelbrecht. She will have a married name later on. She's born in 1955. She's from Mount Clemens, Michigan, which we've talked about. I think in our last Michigan episode, the husband was the killer was from Mount Clemens, I believe,
All right.
if I'm not mistaken. He had like him and his father at a shop there or something.
Metal shop, yeah.
The metal shop, yes.
Yep.
Metal shavings where they found. There we go. Okay. So he's got a mom named, or she has a mom named Lorraine, a dad named John. She has 3 sisters. So it sounds like 4 girls raising.
Yeah.
So yeah, she grows up in this area and went to school there. Everybody says out of the 4 sisters, she's the responsible one.
Well, she's the good one.
She's the smart one and the responsible one, and the one that keeps everything together. There's always one
The
somewhere.
one you
in
can
there.
count on. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. There's always one, and that kid gets gets kind of adulticized too young and fucking
Yeah, and it ruins us.
Yep, parents start to put things on them and tell them their problems, and there's experience there. I have a little bit of experience with that. College here, she went to Central Michigan University in Mount Pleasant, and got her bachelor's degree in business administration. And then she went to the University of Detroit Mercy.
Wow.
Which she gets her master's in business administration. So,
wow, she's not doing herself any favors if she doesn't want to be the responsible one.
That's what I mean.
She's doing all the responsible shit.
Even that, business administration. She's like the one who's going to make sure.
And then a master's of it.
Make sure all the paperwork is right and everything is done correctly. That's wild. So that's 2 degrees, and she's done all sorts of things. Gets a job pretty easily after that with her background, and she's a charming, personable person with a very good educational background and a real sharp way of doing things. So who the hell wouldn't hire her? She sounds good. In the early 80s, she meets a man. She meets a man that she's going to spend the rest of her life with, and she is just locked in on him. He is Robert Michael Bashara, Bashara. He goes by Bob. That's important. So we got Bob and Jane here. Now, he's born in 1957. He's like a year and a half younger than her, but same ballpark. He has a different upbringing here. He is kind of Detroit royalty. Best way to put it here. Yeah. His father was George Norman Bashara Jr., who went to the University of Detroit Law School and was an attorney, and then was a judge on the Michigan Court of Appeals from 1967 to 1996. So 30 years sitting on the Court of Appeals. Yeah. So he knows everybody there is to know in Detroit, which means that young Bob gets to know everybody and has an air of my shit doesn't stink.
Of course, yeah. Would you rather have your family be that guy, the judge that everybody knows, or like the local celebrity businessman? Do you know what I mean? Like the carpet king of whatever.
Yeah, I don't think it matters because they hang out in the same place.
Yeah. They know each other.
Yeah, they go to the same fucking parties. They probably, finger the same children and whatever the hell these rich fucks do in their basements.
But I'll bet you the carpet king is the cooler guy, right?
Well,
because he can't believe that he's successful.
Well, he's not buttoned up like this guy. This guy had to go to law school. He had to do everything right. The carpet king does like commercials where he wears a crown. Yeah. You know what I mean? And he
drives a stupid golf cart.
He's wearing a suit of carpet and with a crown on, and he's like, come on down to the carpet king. That's what the lowest prices ever. And he shoots guns off and shit.
He's got a Testarossa Easygo that he drives on the
That's great. That's exactly probably what it is too.
Yeah.
So that's how that goes. So he grows up kind of a different way than a lot of people grow up. His dad was a member of the board of governors at Wayne State University. Just
goddamn
sits on a bunch of boards as rich people do. We don't realize that, but rich people. If you're like a rich person who is in business and public service, people just put you on boards because it looks good for their company to have a board of people that are famous, and you get a salary for that. You don't have to do shit. You have to go once a month. You have to sit at a meeting for an hour or not even pay attention. It's just that your name is on the board of directors, and that's all they want. But you get being rich just compounds.
It perpetuates being rich.
It's
Eddie
wild.
Bash's family is
crazy,
so paid. And he was on so many boards in Arizona. He ran a fucking grocery store.
Eddie Basha is a local Arizona businessman who ran a chain of grocery stores and was kind of famous there. No one outside of Arizona has ever heard of that.
No.
Yeah.
But that's what I said it was a
no, you had it. I was like, we definitely
They even gave him a fucking high school, James. There's a high school named after the man.
Basha's?
Basha.
That's not cool. You can't name a high school after a chain of grocery stores in the air.
They did it.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
They fucking did it.
You go to Bashas'. What do you work in the produce section? What are you talking about? Nope. They teach you how to run a register. It's real good.
It's the silliest shit.
Oh man. Rich people, their shit gets perpetuated.
They just do rich people shit. Yeah.
Now he's also they're Lebanese American. Okay. So anybody who's Lebanese, he's like the most important Lebanese guy in town. So he's in all those groups and they all worship him. And every Lebanese American social club in the entire area, has has got a plaque with him up there, the most important guy. He apparently he's described later on as a beloved public servant and a pillar of the Lebanese American community.
Wow.
That's how his obituary describes him. By the way, it's still now the Michigan Court of Appeals has his portrait up in the lobby because he was one of the judges.
Today.
Still, well, they go up, they stay forever. Yeah. You go to like the one in Arizona, there's people from the 50s up there. And
sure.
They're flat tops and shit. So now Bob takes advantage of this, the son Bob. He's not going to, as any kid would.
Who the fuck wouldn't? Yeah.
I'm sure he's 16, he's speeding, drinking a bottle of booze, and no one's fucking with him. You know what I mean? He's a well-known judge, too. I mean, he's a really well-known judge. And so he grew up basically acting like that and telling people, making sure to tell people who his dad was at the soonest possible interval. Yeah. He'd get right in there. He went to Grosse Pointe South High School there. He went to Albion College. I don't know what that is. I'm not a big college guy, so I don't know, but it's a private liberal arts school southwest of Lansing. And from what everybody says, he's not real good in school.
No?
He goes and he gets by, but he's not ringing any academic bells for anybody or anything like that. But he's a real outgoing guy.
That's good.
And we'll find out that, too. He socially, he gets around. He's a real social kind of a guy and a climber and that kind of a guy. And he's a big guy, too. A big guy, 6 feet tall. Later on, he'll be, 250 pounds.
Okay.
He's a big guy. When he's younger, he's not that big, though. He's, 6 feet tall, 190 pounds when he meets Jane and she falls for him and everything like that. And he's got personality and he comes from a good family and
he's fun.
He went to college and he's outgoing. So there's really no reason why Jane wouldn't like him. You know what I mean? He's a handsome guy. And I've seen pictures like they bowled together and shit like that. Like they had a fun life together. It looked like they get married about 1986. They're going to have 2 kids pretty quickly. They have a daughter named Jessica who will end up being a nurse later on. Then they have a son, of course, because, Bob thinks highly of himself.
Bobby Jr. Yeah.
Got to have a Bobby Jr. Got to have him. If that's a crime and sports reference, because athletes tend to name their kid Junior or their name Junior, and that will immediately send them into crime. We found. We don't know why.
Immediate.
Yeah. So Robert Jr., he'll later go to the University of Michigan. Wolverines there, where he can be mad at Jim Harbaugh for the next century.
He's probably friends with him.
For destroying the program. Now, Jane is a busy one.
Yeah.
She's very busy as the family gets going here. I mean, everybody says she runs the house and does everything. When we talk about what her duties, for lack of a better term, are, she's busy, man. This is a lot. She drove the kids to school. She drove the kids to practice. Yeah. This is, by the way, in addition to having a high-powered corporate job.
What does she do?
We'll find out. She's I don't know, whatever business people do. Yeah. Who knows? I don't, honestly, if you tell me like they do like business administration or whatever, I don't even know what that is. I really don't. I'm a comedian. I don't know shit about anything like legitimate like business world stuff. We just hire people to make sure that we don't end up in prison. Like we don't know what we're doing at all.
But business administration is just like the running of the business.
What does that mean? What do they do? Like, what's their day consist of? I know they run it, but they come in, they sit down, and then what? Yeah. There's a big desk.
Then they administrate.
And they administrate things and administer things, and they tell people. I don't know. That's what I mean.
They come in and they sit down. And then what?
That's like, what's their actual day? I can't think of it.
I want to see you in a corporate environment.
That would be amazing.
Hi, I'm here. Now what?
Now what? I'm so impatient with shit too.
You label it, then you ship it.
Yeah,
then
that's what you do. Yeah, I'd just be adjusting the nameplate on my desk a whole lot, making sure it was straight. Like, okay,
there it is.
Oh God, that would drive me crazy to do anything. That's my nightmare. Is to be like even to be like an executive. It'd be a fucking nightmare.
They don't do anything.
No, even
that's the answer.
But they have to still go there in the morning.
Yeah. What they do is they go there, they read the Wall Street Journal, and they have somebody bring them coffee all day.
And then there's meetings, I know. I don't know what the meetings are about.
Yeah, but the meetings don't do anything.
That's what I mean. I don't even know what they're doing, but there's meetings all the time they seem to have to be in.
This meeting could have been an email. That's probably 90% of their meetings.
I think so. I think it's just people who need to feel important, probably.
Yeah. I've seen executives of very powerful companies doing fucking nothing all day.
Yeah,
all
I don't think they do much. There's a lot of golf involved. There's a lot of lunches.
There's a lot of entertaining other company executives. That's it.
Yeah, lunch seems to be a big, a big point of
lunch seems to be real popular.
That seems to be the main thing, and sometimes they don't come back after lunch. So, in addition to that, she also organized, Jane does, the Grosse Pointe South High School's Mothers Club, and she was the president of the school's Mothers Club after a while.
President of the Mothers.
She just goes right there. I don't know what that would consist of either, by the way. I don't know. I don't know what you'd have to do with that. She ran bake sales. She went to church every Sunday at St. Michael's Episcopal Church, and also was at a bunch of the church committees during the week. I don't know where she had time for all this shit.
It's just talking. It's a lot of talking about doing some things.
It's crazy. I don't know how anybody, I couldn't do all this. I don't have time for all this. I don't have time to do normal things. This is insane.
Those committees too, you just go there and go, what are we doing?
I don't know. What are we meeting about? Well, we're going to organize the bake sale. Well, fucking organize it. Let us know when it is. I don't know. Pick a guy to organize it. We need 12 people here to talk about a bake sale? What are we talking
12
about?
12 people decide how much a brownie costs?
Yeah. What are we doing? Yeah. Oh, we have to parse out who's baking what. Well, fucking figure it out. Who cares?
Sign up.
Who knows? Yes, put a sheet up. If someone already wrote on their name under brownies, you can't make brownies. Move on to Rice Krispie treats.
Fuck out of this.
Move over to lemon tarts and shut the fuck up. So, she's running that shit. She's at all these committees, taking her kids to school, president of the Mothers Club, full-time, high-powered corporate executive job.
Baking raspberry bars. She's busy.
She's busy, man. She's real busy. She also did all the there was a fundraiser at Grosse Pointe South, and she worked the door for 3 hours to volunteer to do that, to take tickets at the door. Yeah. She's just a really involved person.
Yeah.
Now, she's also the house breadwinner as well.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the other thing. She's bringing home all the money. He has endeavors, as we'll get into, but they're not a solid paycheck type of endeavor. They're more spotty. Yeah. She spent the bulk of her career at a company called Mercury Marine, which is the boat engine division of Brunswick Corporation.
Yeah.
Are they the people that make the bowling pins and shit?
It's probably the company. That's probably the umbrella, but she worked for Mercruiser and inboard outboard motors. That's impressive.
I was wondering though, does the Brunswick Corporation umbrella boat manufacturing bowling pin things that seems like it's a big one.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. They're headquartered in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, but they have a lot of shit going on in Michigan, and that's where she works here.
Well,
to begin with,
Harley Davidson only is only a company now because of Mercury, because they were right there on the lake. They had the shipping shit, and the guys that owned the company for Mercury gave them parts to build all the motorcycles. Mercury up there,
that makes sense.
And Mercruiser Motors. That's one of the biggest companies in the Midwest up there. It's a big. Huge company.
Interesting. Well, yeah, she worked there for a while.
She's probably making a shit pile of money.
Well, then she moved over, which means to move over, she probably got more money to do that, I would assume.
Bet you're right.
She moved over to a company called Kaema Services, Kaema Services.
I don't know it.
I don't know if it's an acronym or what, but it's an energy consulting and testing firm with offices in Detroit.
That's awesome.
That's money. That's a lot of money.
Anything you put the word energy in there.
It's huge. It's going to be
money. Yeah.
But she was their senior marketing manager.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I don't know what that is or what that does. I mean, I assume it has to do with marketing. She might, campaign, ad, I don't know what kind of marketing.
The word senior implies she's in charge of that.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of marketing you need for a consulting and testing firm, energy consulting and testing firm. It doesn't seems like you're marketing to very specific people, not like putting an ad on the football game.
Lunches, James.
So many lunches.
That sounds great.
She's making six figures. She's got stock options. She's got a huge swelling 401k with hundreds of thousands of dollars in it. She has her insurance has like a can't work policy where she'll get she's got all this shit, man, all built in. And that's, I think, through her company as well. She's somehow working 12 hours a day and also doing all the other shit. I don't know how she has time to do that, but that's remarkable.
I'll tell you what, James, if you are working a day job and it is making you six figures and everything's going great, that alone
gives
makes
you the energy.
Smile and excited to go to work the next day.
Yeah, it probably puts a bounce in your step.
Yeah.
Does it though? I'm the type of person that I could, no matter what I'm doing, if my job was to eat ice cream, I'd be so fucking tired of eating ice cream in 4 days. Like, I'd be like, this sucks. Why do I have to eat all the ice cream? I'm terrible like that. I don't like work.
I'm trash though, so I only had one great job in my life. So I worked that fucking job with a big smile on my face, happy to do it all the time because
you never showed up though.
Yeah,
you're gone now. You were the worst employee ever. You didn't.
I was so bad at it, but when I was there, fuck, did I love it?
Yeah, that's true. You had a positive attitude, I guess.
I certainly sidestepped it as much as I could.
Well, that's understandable and natural.
So much. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I never, besides comedian, I never really had a job I liked.
Yeah. And when I first got the job,
terrible job,
I was losing my fucking mind how lucky I was.
Yeah.
Every man in my family told me I made more money than them. I was 22.
Now this, we can't get sick of because it was so gradual. You know what I mean?
I'll do this every day.
This wasn't a goddamn job for a long time. This was something that we were forcing on the world. So there's a different vibe to it. So while she's doing all this, which sounds like running a family and a business and a marketing division and all this type of shit, Bob has other things that he's doing.
What's he doing?
Bob's endeavors and business endeavors in his public life are interesting. He went into real estate in the 1980s.
Yeah.
That's where he decided to try to do.
Easy.
That's, again, what a lot of times what rich people do.
Yeah.
Well, I have all this money and I don't really want to work. So
I'll get my real estate license.
No. He buys real estate. He's not a real estate agent.
Okay, that's crazy.
He's buying strip malls and shit like that to turn them over and, trying to do stuff like that. By the early 2000s, he's got a lot of rental properties around the Detroit Grosse Pointe Park border area, including a complex along Mack Avenue that we're going to kind of concentrate on here. So at this point, 2000s as they go on, now he's 250 pounds, salt and pepper, and a strip mall owner.
Whew.
Yeah, it changed a lot. It seemed it changed, all changed.
Entirely different.
Yep. But his name helps him in all this type of thing. Let's say he has a zoning beef or something.
Yeah.
That helps. He knows people in all these offices. He knows people who are in charge of things and shit like that.
Starts getting lawsuits about being a slumlord, shit like that.
Yeah, slumlord accusations. These are mostly commercial buildings. There are some apartments, I believe, but it's mostly a commercial complex.
But a lot of times when you buy a commercial complex, it's up for sale for a reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's rarely because we're tired of making so much money.
If you were just thriving, just, money heaving out of that place, why would you sell it? You don't have to do anything.
Right. It's why would you sell it? It needs work or there's nobody over here.
That's it. So here he is. Now he's 250, salt and pepper hair, always wears polo shirts.
Yeah.
He's that guy. And one friend of his put it this way, that he, quote, drank kind of a lot. We know this guy. You know that guy. I mean, he's just a drunk business guy with the red face and the drink in his hand.
Kind of a lot. Yeah.
Kind of a lot. Some of his rental properties made some money. Some of them didn't make any money.
Right.
So he's not thriving. He's just kind of fucking around because he doesn't have to be the guy who pays the bills because his wife brings home a huge salary. So,
and it does sound like if I told you I had 11 strip malls, James, you'd be like, wow, that's gotta make good money, huh?
You must be a bit. Why else would you have bought the next 10 if the first one wasn't working? That's what I would think. I'd be like, wow, you must be killing it.
The mortgage is just... It's every month, man.
Malls. Yeah. It's weird. So now the Mack Avenue one in Grosse Pointe Park here, It's 15402 Mac is the address of this one building that he has. Now, he opens on the ground floor of this building. He opens a Vegas-themed bar in the Detroit suburbs called the Hard Luck Lounge.
Okay.
Which, shouldn't it be the Good Luck Lounge?
I mean,
naming bars a depressing name is something I don't understand. I don't get why people want to go drink at a bar with a depressing name.
You want to go drink at the Down and Out with me?
Yeah, I mean, might be a great place, but it's not one I'd go, ooh, the Down and Out, that sounds fun. Let's head over there. Oh, look, the Red and Bumpy. That sounds great. That sounds perfect.
So that's definitely contagious. That you don't want to go there?
Oh, the Itchy and Contagious. Let's head over there. That sounds awesome.
Open and weepy.
It's open and weepy, yeah. Ooh, the Running Sore. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Let's get in on that.
Let's go get a whiskey sour.
Yeah. So it's got like gambling decor. There's no gambling, actually.
Because it doesn't have gambling. It just has like the idea of it. And so the bad luck, is that what it's called?
Hard luck.
Hard luck.
Hard.
Yeah,
it's got the word hard in it, which might make people think there's sex involved somewhere.
Right.
But I think there's like old slot machines set up, not working or anything, just whatever, dim lighting, that kind of shit. It's a kind of a neighborhood bar, they said, and the clientele is mostly older guys who've been going there for 20 years.
Okay.
Which you see that means that bar is going to be dead soon.
And if it's not dead soon, it will never have a happening night.
No, because anybody that tries to come in, those 20 fat fucks sitting there will make sure that everyone who comes in there does not feel welcome. They will
doesn't have a good time.
Sure of that. They will make sure you do not feel welcome and you won't come back. So at the end of the day, it's going to be these 20 guys because it's their clubhouse and they want. Right. I always feel bad for those bar owners where it's almost like they're taken over by these regulars because they need them because that's their only regular income. But at the same time, they drive away new customers. So what do? You know what I mean?
Well, it's a tough. But sometimes I've been in bars where the bartender literally sits at the end of the bar with 3 dudes and talks to them the entire. I gotta fucking snap.
Absolutely.
Hey, man, this shit's empty. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Hollering for a drink because this person, and they love it.
If that guy's the owner, then he deserves to lose his house.
Yeah.
Fuck him. You know what I mean? But if he's some employee, I feel bad for the owner,
Yeah.
That just sucks. There's a bar for sale near me recently, and it was a reasonable price. Not that I'm in the market for a bar. I just happened to see it.
It's not a bad idea.
The problem is I've seen who's in this bar.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I've seen the guys outside smoking. They're 58-year-old fucking guys smoking out there looking miserable with 10 other guys who look just like them inside and nobody else.
Right.
Like, guess who's not in there? Women.
Right.
Guess who bars make money? Ones where women go to. That's it.
That's
more
what
guys
drives
come.
it. Yeah.
Yep. Sorry. That's it. That's all. Everything.
That's just the business. It's been like that since the shit started.
Yep.
Well,
that's why they have ladies' nights.
Yeah.
Once
Prohibition ended, that's what it was. Yeah.
Ladies come and then who follows? Men. Yeah. That's it. Even in the wrestling business, they said that. Yeah. They look and go, well, you got to get a couple of handsome guys that bring the young girls in. And when the young girls come, then the young boys come. And then you got something. You know what I mean?
And it perpetuates itself. Yeah.
Totally. Now, upstairs from the Hard Luck Lounge, he's running a restaurant as well.
So it's a multi-level place.
Multi-level place, and there's levels below and above that we'll talk about, especially below. Okay. This place is called Dylan's Raw Bar and Grill.
Okay.
Sushi
and shit.
Oysters and oyster shooters and a dinner menu and that kind of thing. And then above that, there was another floor with a few rooms that he rented out as well.
Oh.
Probably to employees of the restaurants because that's usually how that works. So he's doing this. That's what he's doing. Now, neither of these are huge money-making endeavors for him.
Those are oftentimes big losers because if you don't sell oysters go in the trash.
Quickly. Very quickly.
That's money in the trash.
That's fucking money. So that's what I mean. That's tough, and especially to run a second floor oyster bar. Like, what is that? Like that's hard to sell unless you're in like an urban area where unless you're in Manhattan or something. That's difficult.
In the suburbs of Detroit, when Detroit has plenty of restaurants,
it's plenty of them. So Anyway, that's what was going on. He's also, while he's doing this in the 2000s, he serves on boards of about half a dozen community organizations as well to show what an upstanding guy he is. And in public, he is real upstanding. He is in the Grosse Pointe Rotary Club, which he becomes the president of. Mm-hmm. So
that's
together,
like an easy gig,
yeah, I would say. So from the outside, these two just look like a successful power couple.
Sure, yeah.
The Grosse Pointe, he's on the Grosse Pointe Yacht Club's social committee.
What does that do?
The most useless thing in the world. It's to let's plan our gatherings at the yacht club. Think about that.
Let's go talk about being on boats.
Wow. We're going to talk about
great.
Getting people together so they can clink glasses and talk about being on boats. Like, all of that shit could disappear tomorrow, and there'd be like four people that would notice it. Nobody would notice it. Also, he goes to the St. Michael's Episcopal Church as well. He is a support member of the Grosse Pointe South Mothers Club as well. He joined that. Yeah. And a series of charity fundraising committees that basically he's always in the newspaper in the Grosse Pointe News Society pages as far as whenever there's a charity thing, pictures, there's Bob in the middle of it all always. I mean, he's Mr. Grosse Pointe Park, essentially.
It's amazing.
So, yeah, people knew him to begin with. He played Santa at the Rotary Club Christmas party.
Doesn't even have to make a bunch of money for this.
No, that's what I mean. He's a business owner and he's well known, and so good enough. So, yeah, he's in the full Santa suit, which just means you're the guy with the roundest belly in the office usually. You're Santa. Sorry. Yeah, remember Bobby Bacala on The Sopranos?
Yeah, he's the fat guy. Yeah.
You're Santa Claus, as Paulie Walnut said. Yes. The boss says you're Santa Claus. You're Santa Claus. That's it. Put the suit on.
Bobby.
Sorry. And then he has another story. So you got first floor, Hard Luck Lounge. Yeah. Second floor, Dylan's Raw Shooter Bar, whatever the fuck. Yeah. Above that, third story, some rooms for rent. Then there's a basement as well.
Hell yeah.
Let's not jump to conclusions. Starting in about 2004, he gets into some weird shit that goes on in this basement.
What's he doing down there?
Put it this way. When you hear about what's going on there, you would never eat oysters or shellfish in a building where this was occurring at all. You'd be like, not happening. Nope.
I can't wait.
Okay. He had discovered BDSM, which, if you don't know, stands for bondage, discipline, dominance, and submission. And that whole world of, leathery.
It's interesting.
Leathery, creepy people beating each other.
When's the first time you heard about it? I heard about it when I was like 7.
Very little. Yeah, I was going to say very young. Very young.
We had a friend that would come around named Bryce, and I don't know if I should have said his name. It doesn't matter. It's not his last name.
Bryce isn't his real name anyway. Don't worry about it.
He was like 6'7". He was this huge guy, but he
narrow it down further, Jimmy. Anything else to it?
That I know.
Mother's maiden name, maybe you want to throw out there. Last 4 of his social, if you got that, possibly.
And he was at a party, and one of my uncles said that guy likes whips and chains and shit. And he wasn't talking to me. He was just drunk saying it. And then I was like, what? And then he goes, oh, you don't know about that? And then he starts telling me all the things that our friend likes, and I was aghast. And he's like, this he's like, a woman walks around on him a dog collar.
When you're a kid, you're like, a boob would make your head explode. So you're like, what? They're not satisfied with seeing boobs?
Yeah.
What's wrong with these people? Like
a woman walks him around on a dog collar, and I was like, why? Why does he do that?
Yeah,
I get it, but I mean, I don't get it, but I get it.
Yeah. I remember like in the 80s, there's a lot of like joking about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like I remember that being a thing.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of joking. Like if you were on a sitcom, there would be a joke about it. You know, there would be somebody
in 9 to 5. They dressed Dabney Coleman in the
exactly.
Show.
Yeah. So it was all that as we grew up with.
Right.
So it's all that kind of shit.
It's also like a gag that the guy that does that is less of a man.
Yeah, they try to say that, but this is
like he might be fey. You know what I mean?
Oh, because he wants to be dominated type of thing? Yeah,
right.
Yeah. No, Bob is the dominator here. He's not the dominatee.
What?
Yeah, no. Bob isn't the type of usually upper middle class, middle-aged, crusty fuck that wants people to beat the shit out of him and call him names. No. He's the one in charge.
Oh, I can't wait to hear this.
Yeah, that's what I mean. This isn't just he wants some chick over to fucking tell him he's
Squash
a bad
his
boy.
nuts. Yeah.
Step on his ball bag. This is a different story here. So anyway, he gets real into this shit real quick.
Really?
Real
it's rare
quick.
that the man is doing that.
It's different.
Yeah.
Now, he claimed that he lost interest. Apparently, during his childhood, he had some interest in this world.
Okay. Yeah.
He did what he called, I guess, bondage experiments.
What did he do?
I don't know. As a kid, he was doing this, tying people up, doing shit. I don't know what was going on.
Okay.
But then he said he pushed it down for a long time. Yeah. And then sometime in his mid-40s, started getting
dominating
the
him.
Rumbling. Yeah. Started getting the little hungry. Yeah. So he said that the reason was he hadn't even thought about it in years, obviously,
He forgot
all about what makes his dick hard.
Oh yeah, that's
people
what makes
do.
this thing hard.
Nobody forgets anything that's ever made their dick hard, even once.
Never.
By the way,
Not once.
No. I remember people from women from sitcoms in the 80s that when I was like 9 years old, that I was like, whoa. I'll still remember that moment of going, yeah, look at that. Yeah. So you remember everything that gets your dick hard.
Yeah.
He's lying there. But he said in his mid-40s when he's on the internet, he saw pop-up ads for kinky dating websites.
Where the hell did you get that in your algorithm?
He was going to say, where are these pop-up ads? He's on ESPN.com doing his fantasy football league, and there's just pop-up? Right. I don't think so.
Those are targeted, sir, and you get them because of your searches.
What you're doing. So, so he decided he was going to go on a site, collarme.com.
Yeah.
That's a site, by the way. I don't know if it is now, but it was in 2004.
Probably.
It's probably huge now. Jesus Christ, you kidding me? They probably sold IPO last year to that shit.
Yeah, that does not sound like it's not lucrative.
It's got going away. I don't know if it's, who knows if it's lucrative, but it's definitely popular, put it that way.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. It's like that tentacle one. I forget the name of that one, but if I ever heard it, I bet, yep, that's the one.
Yeah, that's that. So he put an ad up, apparently, and he basically said that he was skilled in this lovely life.
Oh, so Collarme's like Craigslist for BDSM.
People hook up that way, apparently. So, or at least they did then. So he's telling people that. Meanwhile, he's also saying that he didn't get into this again till his 40s. So he's either lying, saying that he wasn't into it for 30 years and then just, rekindled it, or he's lying to the people on the website saying he's skilled and knows what he's doing. One or the other. But his ad goes on to say, quote, "I will open, train, and guide you in this lifestyle.
Oh, boy.
Kneel and have all your desires and cravings open to you. Are you ready for Master Bob?"
Oh, boy.
He'll just be Master Bobbing in the corner. Don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. This fucking guy.
Open you.
Open you. So that's his ad. Yeah. And there's more in there, I'm sure, but that's so he's looking for women that are willing to submit to whatever the fuck he's got going on. Yeah. He said also, quote, "Oh, and I train several, so being tied to another is a wonderful thing." So he's not looking for one. He's looking for a bunch of women that are also all willing to be doing this at the same time.
Yes.
Not just women that are cool with him going around other women, but women who want to all be in the same room when he's beating all of them up or doing whatever the fuck he's doing, tying them up. He corresponded with a few women who answered his ad. Then he arranged to meet a specific woman here, and they arranged to have, this is the weirdest thing, they're hooking up to talk about whether they want to do, weird BDSM shit together. So they arranged to have lunch to talk about it, where they go to the Red Robin, which is the weirdest place to talk about this. They do have unlimited fries, so you can talk about it for a long time.
Let's talk about me burning your twat under over a nice basket of bottomless fries.
So I'm gonna tie you up and I'm gonna do that. Yeah, yes, actually, I'll have more fries for me, thank you. So anyway, back to what we were doing. That's insane. This is in Southgate, which is 20 miles south of Detroit. They said, quote, this is from a book that I'll give the plug to later on, because there's a couple of them. The woman he met said he was looking for someone to be his submissive. I needed food and shoes for my children.
Oh my God.
So she wasn't even into this. She was just looking for a way to make money.
I hate that so much.
That is disturbing that a woman has
needed
to go
the basics
to these
of
lengths.
life, and he wants to dance. Yeah.
For my children, so
Right.
I'm going to completely debase myself and do something
Right.
I don't even want to do. If she wanted to do it, great, but she doesn't want to. She just wants to feed her kids. That's tough. He dove into it, though. He went to events, these big swinger events. This is a whole like underground thing that
it's a whole life, James.
it's huge, and I don't know a fucking thing about it. I just don't. I don't know what it is.
I'm glad that I'm out of that.
Were you in it for 20 years?
No,
you said
no,
I'm
no,
out of that. Like I'm glad I got out of that finally.
I'm
like
glad
a guy,
I never.
the guy who was in the mafia.
In that yeah,
doing an interview. I'm glad I'm
out.
out of that. I'll tell you what. For a long time, it was tough.
That was tough to get out of.
Yeah.
Needed a sponsor. No, there's like swinger clubs and shit in Phoenix that I've been to 100 times in my early 20s. It's just fucking weird. It's just
I'm not into weird.
I'm
shit.
not into. It's just so uncomfortable.
I don't know. Call me crazy.
Call me boring.
Call me boring. Call me crazy. But something about a naked chick. Really, I don't need anything else. It's just I'm pretty excited about that. You know what I mean? That's always been enough to get. I never was like, I'm bored with this. Never.
Can we bring another one in here?
Oh no, I don't care.
Do you know how long it took for me to be able to show this to you? I don't want.
I don't even need new boobs either.
I don't want to
see the
warm
same
up
ones
to
over and
somebody
over.
else.
I'm excited about them every time. I don't get it. I guess we're lame, Jimmy. That's all it
Yeah,
is.
I don't know, man.
So he gets right into this. He went to play parties in Ann Arbor. He went to swingers nights at private homes.
Jesus.
Which is crazy. He went to a site called alt.com. It's like spelled out, I guess, which is a BDSM site. It's basically, you remember Adult Friend Finder?
That still exists. I get fucking pop-ups for that.
Really?
I never searched that, ever.
Really? I knew a guy who was doing this.
I'm starting to be on Bob's side.
He might have just had it pop up. I was filming this guy for this potential documentary, and his whole thing was he was looking for a chick, and so he would look everywhere. It was like him going to bars and him doing all this stuff, and eventually he's online, and he goes to he went from just trying to meet a nice girl at nice places to bars to this to that to actually eHarmony, long term looking for that.
Yeah.
Went from there all the way down to just went on adultfriendfinder.com, made a profile, and in his thing was, I'll eat that ass. He went all the way from I'm just trying to find
Holy
a nice
matrimony.
girl in 6 months to I'll eat that ass. I don't care. Just somebody fuck me. It was really, really something to watch.
He went from dearly beloved to just bend over, I'll lick it.
I'll lick your ass. I don't care.
I don't care.
Please, nobody isolate that. So, and I still have a box of 30 tapes of this shit too. It's
wow.
crazy. So, anyway, he made a profile on there and made his profile name Master Bob.
Yeah.
Okay. He's walking around. Picture a 250-pound salt and pepper polo shirt wearing guy walking around in a leather vest, because that's what he liked to do in these parties.
Who wants to spank your pussy?
Yeah, it was. Oh God. At one point, on the way to a meeting with somebody, a tryst here, he bought a whip and some rope at a farm store.
I mean, in a pinch, I guess.
That is not the same equipment that you're getting that you get at a sex shop.
Yeah, I think the sex shop, it's like a lower quality, so it won't injure. You know what I mean?
Or a higher quality, the rope would be softer, I would think, or smooth. It wouldn't be
it wouldn't be
harsh
just
rope from a farm store that you tie a fence closed with or something.
But I was thinking more along the lines of the whip.
The whip, would also. Yeah.
You'd want softer leather rather than something you beat a fucking for a horse or something?
A bull? I have no idea what you use a whip for anymore. Who knows? But he did.
What would you do that?
But after a while, he's got all the vocabulary down, and he's into it. Which we've also seen listeners of ours back in the day were into this, and I I was uncomfortable around it just because she was like a younger girl, and like the dude she was with was like 30 years older than her, and like it was big guy. I was creeped out by the whole thing, man. It really was. I'm like, dude, somebody did something bad to this young lady at some point in her childhood. And she's living this weird shit out with this guy because this is not a mutually beneficial thing. He was having people coming over running trains on her and shit. It was wild.
And they were selling the.
Yeah. No, it was crazy. Bad. It was fucking crazy.
Who knows? It may have been him that did some bad shit to her in her childhood. Yeah. He was old enough.
No shit. He might have come back around.
Yeah.
I mean, we knew a lot of our listeners that were like ladies that like knew her from groups and were trying to like help her and stuff. And what the hell are we going to say to her? We didn't know what was going on. So we just let the ladies take care of it. They said, we're going to try to help her. And
I don't even know if she's still around.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on. So if she is, hi. Hope your collar still fits.
Hope your tail's okay.
Yo, the tail. Oh God. Okay. Yeah, that's a flashback there. So now in the basement of the place, the Hard Luck Lounge, the Oyster Bar Shooters, this is his dungeon.
Oh boy. In
the basement. It's a windowless room that everybody in the scene came to know as Bob's dungeon. Basic inventory, hooks on the walls.
Sure. Yeah.
As one has chains.
Rings. Yeah.
Chains, leather harnesses hanging on pegs, a flogging cross.
Oh, Jesus.
A wooden X-shaped piece of whatever wood that you strap somebody to and beat them, apparently. A padded chair that a witness called Bob's leather chair, which was his throne. He would sit in this and tell people what to do, and this was like his dominance spot, was this leather throne.
That's why he sits and orders people to do things.
And then there's also like tables, a bed, and a TV, because sometimes you get bored.
So, there's got to be somewhere to set the pizza, and there's got to be somewhere to fuck. Yeah.
And I'm sure like a microwave with a little freezer with some Hot Pockets or something in there. There's got to be something that we're not hearing about.
Pizza pockets.
You never know. So according to some people here, he also had a giant spider web-like structure made of rope designed for suspension play and restraint scenes.
Yeah.
That's creepy.
Is it hanging from the ceiling or is it on the wall?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know where it's hanging from, but it's in there somewhere. Another woman later called it a cramped area partitioned off from the rest of the basement with cheap walls. It was dimly lit, and all the equipment was crowded together. So this was not, when we're picturing this, we're picturing like a big room and a thing.
Yeah.
And this is a tiny room in a fucking basement in Michigan that he has cordoned off with a shit wall and hung hooks from and tell women what to do with while he sits in a leather throne and master bobs. This is crazy. This is not normal.
Oh, Bob, you've created a whole world. What's he missing? What's he missing that he has to do this?
Yeah, that's a very good question.
Yeah.
Like I said, this has to be something happened.
Yeah. Is this a guy that feels inferior and has to, you know what I mean?
I don't know.
There's something psychological to this whole thing.
Yeah, and it could be different for different people, but I don't know if he feels inferior or he feels superior. So he must be his.
He is inferior, but he feels like he deserves to be superior. So that's only way to do that is to go down into this basement and put on a leather cup.
He just might think of everybody else as objects that he doesn't give a fuck about because he's think about rich kids.
Yeah.
Remember rich kids? They'd have like something that you'd want really bad and they just like leave it in the gutter because they didn't care about it because they had more. Like that might be also what these people are like disposable to him because he's important and they're not in his mind maybe.
This is fascinating.
I would think the inferiority would be the guys who like to get beat, not the guys who like to do the beating.
I think it's the opposite. I think it's psychologically when you feel like you're better, you can let somebody beat on you because you're like, you could never do this anywhere else in life.
I don't know about that. I think so. I don't know. That guy, maybe it can go either way. I'm not sure. So people, by the way, the Hard Luck Lounge, everyone's the 20 drunk guys sitting up. They had no idea what was going on down there.
Of course not.
Nobody who worked there, none of the waitresses and the cooks, all those people, they didn't know what was in the basement. They had no idea.
He didn't even hint to them that they could be a part of this life if they want?
And maybe if he found them hot, but otherwise no. So that he'd have gatherings. He'd hold these big gatherings down in the basement. Big gatherings where he's Master Bob. Sometimes it would just be 2 or 3 couples at a time down there doing swinging and beating. Other times it was him with multiple partners. Multiple people said there was cocaine used at these events, which no one's doing this shit sober, right? Yeah. I hope.
If there's not some sort of substance, what the fuck are we doing here?
I don't know what we're doing. But he was the host. He was the dominant one here, and everybody called him Master Bob. So it didn't start out that crazy, actually. When it first started here, the woman that he first hooked up with, who he met at the Red Robin there, said that she was already into the whole Detroit scene by the time she met Bob. And she said basically his basement, when she first saw it, quote, there was some S&M toys and things in there. His interest in S&M was great, but his product was pretty small at the time. That sounds good. Hey, baby, look at my product. How you doing? I never heard it called that before. Yeah. Have you? So she said, so it was limited. I kept everything he had in covers and put away. I kept everything he had in covers and put away. There was a chair and a bed. He attempted to make some kind of ridiculous cross-type thing on the wall that was built incorrectly for its usage, and there were some toys. Okay. Which later on he figured it out. But at first, he tried to be like, from newbie to I know everything. I built a thing and all that. So now apparently in this world, the main the main thing that gets said over and over, the main mantra here seems to be safe, sane, and consensual is what they keeps coming up.
Yeah, the first word is the most important part. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. Once it gets out of control, then it's not something different now. So according to this woman, Bob repeatedly ignored that. He didn't give a fuck. This is for him. This is not for everybody.
Fuck safe and sane.
Yeah.
I'm trying to come.
That's, safe, sane, consensual. He's not into that. She said generally when I would get together with Bob, it would be a little spanking, and with his inability and his impotence, a little head.
What?
So she'd give him a little head. There'd be some spanking, and he can't get it up. That's the other thing we'll get into. He's got some
he was giving her head because he can't get it up.
That's possible. He's got some dick problems. I doubt it, though. I think he doesn't do a lot of giving. He's not a real giver. He's a taker. She said there were a few occasions where it got a little crazier, and when we were playing, he choked me. I have kind of a bony neck, and I would get very dizzy and unconscious. Jesus. I didn't particularly like it. And when I would mention being uncomfortable, he would back off. That wouldn't happen for months until I'd be a little more comfortable, and then, surprise, it might happen again, even though he knows she doesn't like it. Yeah. It was not something we talked about. It was something it was not something I asked for. For me, I wasn't completely out for a length of time. I was on that very thin line between being out and unconscious.
She felt the tingles. Yeah.
Yes. So, I mean, people started to find out about this new dungeon that opened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's got everything.
After a while here, he's got more goddamn people down there than he's got in the Hard Luck Lounge. He's like, shit, if I could just sell these people drinks, this would be a viable business.
Charge a cover.
That's what I'm saying. So he would do that, and the neighbors would be like, why are all these people going in this basement? What the hell's going on? It's got like a side entrance thing. It's weird. One neighbor who lives across the alley from this place said I'd see people dressed in black outfits coming and going until 3-4 in the morning.
A lot of people look like they're in the fucking Matrix.
a lot of Matrix people with rock hard cocks. That's the only difference. She said it was real weird. She said basically the people that went to these parties would go down a steep concrete stairwell into the basement area there, and that was that. She said this neighbor, she didn't know what was going on across the alley with this shit. She said, I heard they were having S&M parties, and that made sense to me. I try to mind my own business. All right, I love this lady now. I mean, I looked over there, but I said, none of my fucking business.
Some things you can't ignore. Hey. When everybody's in leather, you go, what is there, S&M parties or something?
And then you have a choice to make. Do you try to do something, or you go, and go about your day. And that's what everyone should do.
Observed that all of these people are wearing black leather.
And going into a basement together.
The fuck is that about?
Strange. So she said, I try to mind my own business, and they didn't really cause any trouble, but I just didn't like so many people hanging around in the alley at all hours of the night.
Yeah.
It's probably loud, too.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Rachel Gillett here. Double L, double T, Gillett. Rachel Renee Gillett. 2008, August of 2008, Bob meets Rachel online. Mm-hmm. Okay. She's a divorced single mother. Okay. She works at Wayne State University, where he sits on the board, by the way. Right. She worked for, but that's not how they met. They met online, which is interesting. Right. She worked in alumni affairs over there. Respectable single mother, doing fine. She's about 10 years younger than Bob as well. She got onto alt.com because she said she wanted to explore that side of herself.
Yeah. See if she likes it. Yeah.
I'm sure something gave her a tingle, and then she's said, you know what?
Yeah, you can't know.
Maybe I'm into that.
Yeah.
I don't know. And this is before, like, 50 Shades of Grey blew up and all that shit,
What year is this?
2008 is when she found him. This was going on in 2004. So by 6-7 years from now, every vanilla, basic-ass fucking 45-year-old woman in the world is asking to get shit done to them.
There's going to be a line down the block for Master Bob's.
Yeah, not now though. So he's ahead of the curve, really. Yeah. If this was a business, he's this close to it popping.
It's almost axe throwing time too. Like he can make so much money here.
So much. Oh, BDSM and axe throwing.
Yeah,
that's
BDSM
something.
Downstairs, axe throwing upstairs. The guys.
After you come, they give you an axe and you go
on up and throw that thing.
Carry your business. So she said she was trying to explore. Her profile said that she was a, quote, submissive woman looking for a dominant single man. Oh. She wants to be dominated. So that's how it went. So they ended up hooking up like that, and they send emails and correspondence and end up hooking up, and he becomes, into her shit. Yeah. She's into him. At one point, here's an email. This is from Bob to Rachel. Yeah. You are collared to me, which means I own you, essentially. Yeah. Soon you will feel my strength and passion. That's just a funny line. Yeah. Soon you will feel my strength and passion.
That's a husband and a father writing that sentence.
Oh, and a Rotary Club president.
That's the Rotary Club president.
Think about that, everybody. That's the Rotary Club
it's the
president.
Yacht Club guy, but everybody knows that.
Oh, yeah, the Yacht Club guy. We know they're into freaky shit.
Yeah.
He said, I love you, and I do not want to lose you ever. We are perfect for each other. Mm-hmm. Master Bob is how he signs it. So he on the site they met, he represented himself not as a married man doing some weird shit on the side, but as a widower.
What?
He's been telling people since 2004 he's a widower.
Oh, Jesus.
Which is interesting. So Rachel is in a relationship with him now. I mean, dives into this head first, and really interesting, too. She said that first it was, I'm a widower. That was the problem. That was what he said. Then she Googled him and did some background checking and found out, didn't find any divorces on his record or a dead lady or anything like that. So she said, what up with that? And he said, well, I'm actually separated, but it's just easier to say she's dead. Okay. Then it was, we're basically divorced.
Oh.
And then from there it went to, we're finalizing the divorce. Like he was taking her through the steps from we're separated to it's just about over. We're almost there.
So today, if you filed taxes, what do you tick?
Carrot on a stick. Yeah, that's it. Hey, what's your Facebook say?
Yeah.
What's up? What's on there? Dead wife? What's
the IRS think you are?
Yeah, that's all. That's all we need to know. Hey, how many dependents you claim on your taxes? What number do you pick? Just let me know.
Jesus.
So then finally in May of 2011, as we'll talk about, he tells her the divorce went through May of 2011. I'm a free man.
Divorced.
None of this is true.
Right.
Jane has no idea that he's
a widower or separated,
almost divorced or separated.
Or
he
divorced.
goes home, hey, honey, kiss on the cheek
Yeah.
and all that shit. I mean, it's crazy. So during the marriage at this point here, because I want to talk more about Jane here, he is very much with Jane. They live together. They have dinner at night together. They go on trips together.
He's present.
They're at Rotary Club events together. I saw pictures of them bowling together, standing there holding their bowling balls together. They look like a very happy, connected, and active couple.
He's a supporter of the Moms Club.
Yeah, a supporter of the Moms Club. It looks amazing. Now, no divorce has ever been filed. No lawyer's been hired. Nothing like that shit. So Rachel ends up breaking up with Bob multiple times across this 3-year period. A lot of times because he's a liar.
3 years.
Yeah. Sometimes she broke up with him because of the intensity of their sexual encounters.
Oh.
She said later that she didn't enjoy the pain of flogging.
Right.
As most don't. And that
Some
some people like it. Yeah. That she wanted to leave kind of the heavy end of the scene. She wasn't really into that. Yeah. Maybe, hey, tie me up or something, tie my fucking wrist to the headboard or something. But in a traditional relationship that they maybe get freaky after a couple glasses of wine, but nothing
the
crazy.
Fuzzy handcuffs.
Yeah. Don't beat the shit out of me, please. Yeah. Get the fuzzy ones that don't close all the way. Just get
that
those.
don't hurt.
It's
that
fine.
Don't need a key. I can get out just by clipping it.
You go whip like that. Yeah, that's one of those. So every time she would break up with him, he would just full court press back at her to try to get her back. The way she put it and the way it works out is apologies, promises, declarations of love. You know, the asshole guy thing. Oh, it's going to be all better now. Yeah. We'll find a house. We'll move in together.
Oh.
So we'll have a normal relationship. I can be that for you.
He's making those promises.
Oh yeah. He said, I'm everything you need. I'm everything you want. I'm the guy. You should, and she would come back every time.
Yeah.
So Rachel's probably had a couple of things go on in her background too that make her open for this. That's one of those you'd like to go, hey, where's your dad? I'd like to go kick him. I'd like to kick this fucking nutsack through the top of his roof of his mouth right now because I'm sure something he did is causing this. You know what I mean? I don't know what it was, if he touched you or if he fucking left or did some weird shit, but beat the fuck out of you.
Yeah.
Who did this to you? And who did this to you and why was it your dad? Talk to me. So...
who did this and why didn't CPS keep you away from your father?
Yeah, exactly. There's all sorts of emails to her where he addresses her as my lovely slave.
Oh, God.
And Master Bob and all that shit. At one point he said, I love you and I don't want to lose you ever. We're perfect for each other. All that crap. In 2009, this is what he's saying on the surface, then all this stuff's going on. In 2009, Bob wanted to have a third woman in here.
Oh, Jesus.
This isn't enough for him. He's greedy. That's the problem. This isn't enough for him. Okay. So he blindfolded Rachel and another woman and put them in his van. Hey, ladies.
Kidnapped them. Yeah.
Here's just a tip from a guy and from really anybody. If there's a man who blindfolds you and another woman and tries to put you in a van, just run away. The van is the one that's the deal breaker there.
Yeah, there's been so many guys that did it, and every one of them was bad.
It's always a van, and it's always bad.
They all went to
prison. Yep. So he drives them, removes the blindfold. They didn't know where they were going to be. When he removes the blindfold, they're at his house in Grosse Pointe Park, the family house.
Why?
He's bringing this home with him. And
what?
She said they all had a tryst in their bed, in Jane and fucking Bob's bed.
Oh, my God.
And then Bob and the third woman slept in the bed while Rachel, because of her lowly status, slept on the floor. So this shit never ends. That's what I mean. This isn't like when we get in the bedroom, you do this and you do that, but then when we're out there, we make decisions together. This is like a total dominance lifestyle that I don't get. Yeah. It'd be one thing if it was just sexual. That's what you're both into, and once the door closes, whatever. Right. But like that, like our old listener, like that, it was more. It wasn't about that. It was about the entire. Your whole life is controlled. It's crazy. So, and that was. I mean, that was her. Yeah, but
as soon as the night's over, when we go to bed, we're just people.
That's what I mean.
That's what it should be. Pull that right out of your ass and snuggle in here.
No, you're on the floor, slave. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Put his tail up there and lay on the floor.
Ugh, creepy.
Dog sleep.
Hold on, more guys will be over to bang you soon. Like, what? No. Now, marriage is starting to cramp his style a bit, as you might imagine.
I can't imagine why you would like that at all.
So there's another guy here named Sir Patrick. That is his scene name. His real name is Patrick Webb with 2 B's. Now, there is a town called Milan, very creative, and there's a piece of property there owned by Sir Patrick Webb here.
Sir Patrick's got the best.
Sir Patrick owns this, and he is a BDSM, he's a scene guy too.
Yeah.
Bob knows him. So the property is about 11 and a half acres in a rural area.
Right.
So where nobody's bothering you. Now, this Sir Patrick had been hosting big swingers parties and BDSM events out at various locations around the area, but by about 2010, he built a dedicated party space on his property.
Oh, my God.
He called it the A2 Reformatory.
The what?
A2, Ann Arbor.
Yeah.
2 A's.
Reformatory.
A2 Reformatory.
Yeah.
You know, because there's punishment being dealt out in there.
Gotta teach you.
They had scheduled parties, events where dozens of people would show up. Tons of people, and, you know, there was a dungeon, and there's scenes going on all over the place, booze and everything like that. The only rule here really was discretion.
Yeah, just shut up.
Because a lot of these people are professional people, and
they get jobs.
Things like he said at one point, Webb said, nobody wants to know what goes on behind closed doors, which is backwards. They want to know, but you don't want to tell them.
Right.
You want to know what goes on behind closed doors, but people don't want people to know what goes on behind closed doors. Yeah. Now, he, by the way, estimated that around this time, he said around Ann Arbor, this has to be a wild miscalculation.
Okay.
He calculates that around the entire Ann Arbor area, there has to be around 70,000 people into the BDSM lifestyle.
Ann Arbor?
In the Ann Arbor area.
That's the college area, right?
Seems like a lot of people to be into that.
I hope there's not, because there's college kids there.
Yeah. What do you think the out of 10 is? What's the percentage of people
less than one
who are into this, right?
Less than one.
It's one. I was going to say it's 1% tops, I would say.
Yeah. Less
one
than
in 100.
Yeah.
1 in 100 people are into this.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I don't know how there's 7. That would mean there was, 7 million people in Ann Arbor, which seems high.
Well, I would say there's less than 1% that are into the extreme shit, but I'll bet
Extreme
it's probably 3 in 10 are into some kinkier shit.
Into spanking or once in a while this or that. Or I mean, half the goddamn women want to be choked for some fucking reason. So there's that whole thing that we've talked about before. Hey, see these? I ain't choking you. I'm going to prison if anything goes wrong. You're going to look at my hands and your neck, and I'm going to fucking prison. Jimmy can go, I don't even have 10 fingers. She could have got away from me.
I can't do that. Grab your larynx.
I'm not joking you. That is some shit. Right, we got to find that out right up front. You don't like to be choked, do you? Because if you do, I ain't the guy for you. I'm not doing it. I will not murder you by accident. Not happening.
It'll be adorable to watch me try.
Oh, that's funny.
These teeny tiny. I literally wear a small glove.
Oh my God. I wear double X.
Sometimes I wear a lady's glove, James, because they fit nicer.
Whoa. I have the latex gloves for cooking, like the black ones that you get, and the extra larges are small on me.
Small.
They're like here on my fingers. It doesn't work.
I get the smalls for them to not fall off. If I get the mediums, they'll fall off.
Everybody, Jimmy's a safe choke is what he's trying to say.
I can't choke you.
He puts his forearm in here. He's like, come on.
Yeah, I got to get behind you.
Yeah. He
put you in rear naked if you want to really get choked.
He puts you in the $1 million dream there.
Got to camel clutch these bitches, James.
That's the only way you can do it, everybody.
What do you want from me?
What do you want? Figure 4 leg lock, it's happening. So anyway, this is what he says. We don't know, obviously, what that is, but there is a lot of professional people in this scene. doctors, lawyers, engineers.
Yeah. I'll bet the percentage goes up when you get into that.
Yeah, for some reason, yes.
Yeah.
Because you have time to get into that. Normal people are busy. They don't have... If you make $36,000 a year, you don't have time to be into freaky sex. No. You just don't.
You're just happy you're getting a blowjob.
Yeah. You probably have 3 kids that are taking a lot of your time. You don't have money for babysitters. A blowjob is great.
Yeah. You make $5 million or north. Normal sex is probably boring.
I guess so.
You're probably like, I've made a bunch of money. I can probably afford to do something different.
Yeah. I don't know. Man,
I swear that's how Epstein started.
I really hope I don't get to the point where I'm like, nah, that's boobs are boring, or the chick's ass is boring.
I don't know. I go to strip clubs still. It's the greatest thing. They're amazing.
But
tits, I mean, not
the tits are great. The tits are great.
It's dumb,
yeah, they're
but
gross.
It's fucking great.
The tits are tits are fantastic, but. Think about a lot of those chicks, why they're up there, and you're like,
I'm not thinking about that at all. I'm thinking about giving her some money and having a Corona.
It makes me sad. I can't, not even sad. I'm just like, because I mean, some people like it or whatever, but it's a lot of times it's something bad happened to them, and that's why they're doing it.
Probably, yeah.
Not all the time.
Look, man, something bad happened to me. That's why I'm here.
There you go. That's why we're all here. That's why we're here. So I don't know. I guess if you listen to us, it's you're contributing to our fucking shit too. So now Pat meets Bob.
Yeah.
Sir Patrick there meets Bob at a sex party in a Milan fraternity house.
Oh.
Imagine you're at a frat party and the 50-year-old guy comes in with a leather vest on and takes his dick out. The party's over.
Yeah.
Party's over at that point. It's done.
We already went through this during Rush Week.
Yeah. Who invited someone's dad to haze us? What's going on? He brought the paddles and everything. This can't be right. So anyway, Pat and Bob know each other. They attended a bunch of parties. Bob attended a bunch of parties at the A2 Reformatory with slave Rachel, always in tow, sometimes with another submissive, sometimes alone. Now, Sir Patrick visited Bob's dungeon and described it as a dingy room with hooks, whips, and harnesses. Like 3 different people used the word dingy.
Yeah.
I think it's dingy.
I don't think it's very clean down there. I think it's just what he's got.
No. Now, at one point, this is amazing. Bob, at one point, made an offer to Patrick Webb. Yeah. He said that Bob said, I will bankroll the construction or expansion of the A2 Reformatory. I like this and I want to be a part of it. Yeah. He said, I'll put up the money, you build out the dungeon, and the 2 of us will be partners on it.
Oh.
Then Bob never came through with the money, reneged on the money. So this guy had been planning shit and buying stuff, and Bob saying, oh yeah, I got you covered. And then he just goes, I don't have the money. So, or I'm not doing it. So now this made Patrick Webb really pissed off.
Yeah.
He's like, I've been buying shit, getting ready. And we thought we were partners here. So this led to an argument inside the dungeon. So down in the sex dungeon, an argument between Bob and Patrick where they, quote, nearly came to blows. Imagine these 2 dipshits wearing bondage gear with their dicks sticking out, just swinging on each other. That's comedy. Dude, that is the definition of comedy.
Leather briefs and hairy thighs yelling at each other.
Yelling and I'll fucking kick your ass. I'll kick your ass. Nutsack swinging. One nut way lower than the other.
Yeah.
This is terrible.
Nipples just out.
This is awful, man. Patrick described Bob as always portraying himself as wealthy, but somehow when it came time to write the check, the money's not there.
No money, yeah.
That's the guy. 2009, around this time, Patrick here said that Bob said he felt trapped in his marriage and he wanted to do more in the BDSM community, but his wife was in the way.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for that pesky wife who's got other shit going on. So he told Patrick Webb at his own dungeon, and this was apparently where Patrick said everybody was blowing off some steam.
Oh.
Everybody down there was talking about either their current marriage or when they were divorced and basically joking around about divorce and how miserable it is and how your ex is shitty. It's not easy, just a bitch session, basically.
It's fascinating, though, because does his wife even know he's into this?
Fuck no.
Exactly.
Fuck no. I mean, I don't know what he knows
in this, but my wife, she doesn't know, man.
Yeah, and most of these people's spouses don't know unless they're there with them.
Oh my.
So, I mean, he might in bed want her to, they might have a couple, toys or whatever the fuck. I don't know, but I'm saying they might have some light shit going on in bed.
Sure.
But Jane isn't letting him tie her up and beat the shit out of her.
No.
And she's certainly not going to let him go out and do it to other girls. That's not, or other women, these young girls. That's not going to happen. So, I don't know. So at one point during this, Bob told Patrick, sometimes I think it'd be cheaper to just kill the bitch.
The bitch.
The bitch. And kill in the same word. He also said those same words to Rachel over and over again. Remember Rachel? That he was about to divorce his wife and that they were, me and you, meaning Bob and Rachel, are going to buy a house and move in together. And, got this bitch in here I got to deal with, blah, 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 blah. This bitch.
What a fascinating choice of words.
That's wild shit. She's done nothing to him, by the way.
Nothing
wrong.
To be considered the bitch.
No, if she had her own BDSM dungeon, then he could say, what a bitch. She's cheating on me. She's done nothing. All she's doing is going to fucking Mothers Club meetings.
Working her ass off.
Then there's a second woman named Janet Lehman, who we'll talk about, that he wanted to, basically, he wants to buy a house with Rachel and also move Janet into the house as a third.
Sure.
Normal. He told a financial advisor that he wanted to talk about investments related to Pat Webb's Milan property and the A2 Reformatory Dungeon Expansion Project. He also told various acquaintances that he was looking, this was in late 2012, that he had a tenant who was making his life miserable.
Oh.
A female tenant. So he was looking for someone who would rough up, run over, or, quote, T-bone a female tenant who was making his life miserable. Send a message. That's interesting. Now, Bob, we'll find out who that tenant was in a little while. So Bob is telling all these people, we're talking almost like 10 people, and all these people that he's miserable married, and if only cheaper to kill the bitch and all that. Now, in this mix, he has an Igor. Or an Igor, if you're a Young Frankenstein fan. Now, his Igor,
It's not Pat?
Hunchbacked lab assistant. No. Pat's a successful guy with his own property and his own dungeon.
Oh, boy.
He needs a lackey is what he needs, Bob. Yeah. And these guys always find lackeys. They always find some guy who, even if Bob was in the gutter, this guy would be in the street looking up at him with wide-eyed admiration. Like, oh my God, look at you all the way up there in the gutter.
The guy that success for him is never going to happen, but he can dream every day and follow Bob around and hope that one day.
And do what he tells him to.
Yeah.
And hopefully it'll, wash off to him at some point.
Comedy,
trickle
they call
down.
that guy the host.
The host, yes. They call him the road feature that the headliner uses for 10 years because he's easy to follow.
One day.
One day. So his Igor is Joseph Gentz. Is it Gentz or Gentz? I'm not sure. It's Gentz.
Oh.
So probably Gentz, I would say.
I'll bet it is.
So Joe Gentz is 48 years old in 2012. He's Bob's handyman on the properties, and his IQ is 67, which is lower. That makes Forrest Gump look like an Einstein. Like that's not good. He lives in one of the rental properties a few blocks from the bar as well. Mm-hmm. He lived there for a while. Then there's other things we'll talk about here. Now there's a book about this case. There's multiple books, but one of them is written by a guy named Steve Miller, who I assume isn't the Joker, Toker, Midnight Smoker. I doubt it, but it's possible. This guy had corresponded later with Joe Gentz, and he said that Gentz did not come across as disabled in any way. He sounded like a slow but functional adult.
Yep.
He said that was surprising, but he said the extent of Gentz's impairment doesn't come off right away until you really slowed down to talk to him, and then you'd see how kind of he wasn't right. He's slow. On top of having some cognitive disabilities, obviously, he's also diagnosed with bipolar disorder, which is that's tough if you're smart, dumb, or anywhere in the middle. That's a hard thing to deal with. But,
so he's slow and he has some decision-making skills. Yeah.
Yes, and has some swings and some problems. I mean, that's, like I said, if you can intellectualize and know what's going on with that, it helps. And it's still hard to deal with. But imagine if you're too dumb to even understand what's happening to you. Yeah. That's a lot. People that knew him said that he had the social and reasoning capacity of a third grader. Uh-oh. That's not good. He also has a young daughter, because why not?
Somebody fucked him.
Again, gentlemen. If I hear one more guy say he can't find a woman when this guy is impregnating people.
This guy's got kids.
I'm sorry. You guys have got to try harder, everybody. The world does not owe you pussy. Remember that and try harder.
Get to work.
Get a new shirt.
Yeah.
Fucking get a new cologne. Whatever it is.
Yeah.
You can do it if this guy did it. I'm telling you.
LinkedIn, you moron.
Yeah. This is not this isn't a kick in the dick. This isn't like a
kick in the ass.
A rally speech.
There. Yeah.
Yeah. We're giving you a pep talk right here.
Rah, motherfucker.
You can do it.
Yeah.
So he has no significant criminal history or no record of any violence or anything like that. Just a lot of low-end jobs in shitty apartments.
Yeah.
That's it. By 2011, he needed work. He had nowhere to live. He encountered Bob. Yeah. Bob had a rental property, took him on as a handyman. He even helped get Gentz into an apartment. Not one of Bob's apartments, but another building. He knew a guy, a landlord that he knew, that was in the BDSM network. He hooked Gentz up with him. Now, so he has a lot of ins. He's got the whole like legitimate world that he's got from his father, and then he's got this whole underground world of people that he knows. So he's got a lot going on. This landlord, Rebecca Fortin, would later say that the dynamic between Bob and Gentz was very clear. Bob's in charge. He's in control. Gentz does what he's told. That's it. So the second half of 2011, Bob and Rachel start house hunting.
Really? He's gonna do it.
Or he's at least going to pretend he's going to do it. One of the fucking two
His
here.
financial advisor said he can do it.
So he's telling Rachel that the divorce is coming through any minute.
Any day now.
Any day. This is months after he told her in May it's done, actually. Now it's still not done.
Has he ever been divorced in his life? Because it doesn't sound like he is aware of how that works.
Not at all. No, he just keeps
you have a
telling her.
solid day.
It's a date when it's done. That's it. But he's telling her almost there, this close. Yeah. So they start looking at houses together, him and Rachel, for their future deep,
where we're going to build
committed
this life.
relationship.
Yeah.
So they go through properties together. They talk to realtors. They talk about closing dates. They talk to bankers about down payments and, mortgages and shit like that. They're looking mostly at Grosse Pointe Park because Bob's, from there and he knows a lot about there and he didn't want to leave the neighborhood. So they found a place on Kensington Avenue in Grosse Pointe Park. They referred to it as the Cottage.
Yeah.
Not a huge house by the standards of the neighborhood, but a nice house in a nice neighborhood.
Yeah.
So that's the plan. They're going to move in, he and Rachel and Janet Lehman.
Yeah, we got the third.
That's part of the plan. He wants a second submissive here. He had met Janet on alt.com as well. He really cleans up on this website.
It's amazing.
He really was after her hard between November of 2011 and January of 2012. And the same shit he gave Rachel. I'm divorced. No, I'm not divorced. I'm about to be divorced. I'm buying a house. I want you to move into the house. She didn't live in Michigan. She's from out of state.
Oh?
So, yeah, she would come visit and he'd get her a hotel room and then arrange for him and Rachel or whatever the fuck to go have a party in this hotel room. According to Janet, on one of these encounters, Bob turned up with a big wad of cash and a recent stop at a farm store where he purchased the whip and some rope. So he's got a big wad of cash, farm rope, and a whip that he shows up with.
Okay.
All right. Now, this encounter, Janet said, didn't go well. Bob couldn't get it up.
Oh.
This happens all the time to him, apparently. And so basically what Janet says is what he could not perform sexually, he made up for in flogging. And there's the psychology. These things are an extension of his dick.
Yeah, but
he's a man who's not proud of his dick. Guys with huge dicks don't do this. That huge dicks that work right, they don't need this at all.
But she doesn't even like that.
No. Well, she does, but not to be. She likes BDSM. She met him on alt.com. She's into this shit, but she doesn't like to be beaten the shit out of. That's a different thing. Yeah. She likes the pain that she likes up to a certain point of
so
whatever.
It's almost like you can't fuck and takes it out on people.
Yeah, like guys do. That happens all serial killers a lot of times. The ones that try to rape people, they'll find that they didn't fucking, there's no penetration because they couldn't get it up, and that made them even madder, and that made them want to mutilate the body. Janet would later say, quote, "It was awful. I wasn't expecting what I got. A really good beating that left marks for about 3 months."
Months?
What? Months. I've been in fucking
marks
months.
are that's blood under the skin. That is
serious bruising.
What is months?
Hematoma shit. That is crazy. Wow. Months. He beat the shit out of her.
Months.
Mad. Months.
How long can I've never heard of a bruise lasting a month.
No. I mean, you'll see people with marks if they get in like some horrific car accident. They will have marks on them, but that's if they have like cuts and shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like a gash or something. But not a bruise. That seems like a lot.
That's scarring. What, months?
Man, that is fucking crazy. Now, Jesus. Now,
why would that make you come? Dude, you're sick. I don't want kink shame, but that's sick.
I do want to kink shame. If you like beating the shit out of people, you're fucking twisted. Go to therapy.
Sick.
Sorry. I'm sorry. We have gone way too far with, hey, I mean, whatever you're into is fine. No, if you like hurting people, you're a sick fuck.
Sick.
Go to therapy. If you like being hurt to the point of having marks for 3 months, you fucking need therapy too. It's not kink shaming. It's your sick fuck that needs help.
Nobody likes that, right?
Some people do.
Getting it? No
fuck
way.
Yeah.
I can't
They have to.
I could never think that in 2 months from now I would feel pain.
You wouldn't.
From a fuck session 2 months ago. That's
I would not want that. But I mean, that's the people that want that have fucking problems.
That's sick.
They do. And this isn't light shit and fun shit. We're not even talking about that. No. This is beatings that leave marks for months. That's a different story. Whoever's into that on either end,
that's unbelievable.
Needs to talk to someone for a long fucking time. That's just weird. She told him, though, that she wasn't interested in the threesome arrangement, Janet. Okay. She said, I'm not really interested. She said, I want to be single.
Janet
Yeah, just single meaning I want to be the only one you beat the shit out of, basically. But his plan is we're all living together in here, and I'm going to do what I want to everybody.
Okay.
He said, me, my 2 submissives, that's what I got. That's what we're going to do. They get a closing date on the cottage for Friday, January 27th, 2012. Mm-hmm. Now, how's he going to pay for this?
Excellent question.
I mean, Jesus Christ, you do anything and, the finances are going to come up with your wife or whatever. You can't just buy a house without your wife knowing it. Usually.
She's going to know.
She's going to know. So there's a closing date, but no finances in place. So the realtors said that basically Bob kept reassuring them that don't worry about the money. I'll have most of it and I'll get the rest before closing. It'll be fine. Okay. Don't worry about it. So Christmas 2011, Bob tells 2 different people in 2 different conversations around this time that this is going to be the last Christmas I spend with my wife in the family home. Oh. Next year, everything will be different, he kept saying. Yeah. Now, at this point here, he keeps asking around. Remember that tenant he wanted to deal with? He starts talking to other landlords, to bar regulars. Do you know anybody that can rough up or take care of or run over or T-bone? He keeps using the same words. Yeah. This tenant I have, because this tenant is making my life fucking miserable, and I got to get rid of this tenant. So then, in late 2011, enter Joe Gentz again, Igor, and he starts talking to people about a job. He starts telling friends and acquaintances that his friend Bob here wanted someone to kill his wife. Now we've gone past a tenant.
Well, you got to be real specific with this guy.
You can't just say tenant, wink, wink. He'll go, something in your eye? Like he doesn't understand.
What's a tenant?
What's a tenant? So Joe would tell people that the wife's a high-level executive in downtown Detroit, and she leaves work at the same time, and she takes a specific route home. And so you want to help me kill this lady.
Uh-huh.
And he said basically he was looking for somebody to help him do, quote, a little hit and run.
Yeah.
Now, for this job that he has decided to take on, Bob has promised to pay him a few $1,000s and an old Cadillac. What is it with that? Because we just had a murder recently in the last month where someone was like, I'm getting a Cadillac. That's why I'm doing this. What is it with Cadillacs?
Too. This is an old one.
He wanted a 2002 and 2001. Yeah, this guy's getting like a fucking 10-year-old caddy with a fucking dented quarter panel. This is messed up.
He's getting a Katara or whatever that shitty one was.
Yeah, one of those
two-seater, was it called?
Those pieces of shit, yeah.
It was a Cadillac, man. That's what Robin Williams drove.
Yes, that's what he was driving, the convertible Katara. That's right.
Is it a Katara?
It's a Katara, yeah, the Katara. Yeah.
Piece of shit.
There was a few. What was the Alante was one of them.
Yeah.
Isn't there an Alante, I believe, or some shit
right.
that was also a pile of shit that was similar? Anyway, January 2012, here, Rachel emails Bob asking for documentation. She says, I would like to see the divorce papers. Show me everything.
Oh.
Show me the paperwork.
Rachel said this.
Yes. She said, I'm not going to, because we're 2 weeks away from the closing date on the cottage. And she said that I'm not going to close on this if there's evidence that if I don't have evidence that you're actually divorced, basically. So some time goes by here. He bullshits her. January 23rd, 2012. It's a Monday.
Yeah.
Bob obtained a conditional certificate of occupancy for the cottage.
What?
I don't know what that is. It's a Michigan thing. It has to be.
Okay.
That night, Bob makes a phone call at the end of the night to Joe Gentz. Okay. Basically, they have been we'll find out, they've been in constant contact for months, just all the time, him and Joe Gentz, which if he works for him, he's got jobs for him. But this is multiple times a day, sometimes a dozen calls a day.
Good Lord.
You can dispatch out your handyman work for the day with one phone call. Maybe there's a problem or two and he has to call you to say, hey.
To your handyman?
Is it all right if I buy some new paint for this thing that broke or something? But other than that, you don't need a dozen calls a day to the handyman. So, but that night, his last call of the night is to Joe Gentz, okay?
Oh, he said good night to him.
Good night, Joe. Now, the next day, Tuesday, January 24th, 2012, 5:30 a.m., Jane leaves the house on Middlesex Road for her commute to downtown Detroit. She's headed to her office at the Kema Services place, and she's going to do 12 hours and come back. Now, mid-afternoon, she has a meeting in downtown Detroit. See? Right. Lots of meetings.
Yep.
There's always snacks. There's always snacks in there, too. I love snacks.
Yep.
She was at the meeting and around the offices all through the afternoon. At 3 o'clock that day, Bob goes to the office of the realtor handling the cottage purchase, picks up the closing packet for the cottage, and brings with him the conditional certificate of occupancy he obtained the day before.
Right.
Between 4:52 and 5:20, Bob's cell phone is using sites in the geographic area of the Hard Luck Lounge on Mack Avenue. So he's being in there. Yeah. Bar staff and tenants will later report seeing him in the area during this kind of 4 to 5:30 window, 4:30 to 5:30. About 5 o'clock, the realtor calls Bob to ask about a final walkthrough of the cottage. Bob confirms that everything's fine, everything's good. Final walkthrough I'd like to have is at 2 p.m. on Friday, January 27th, end of this week. Yeah. Okay. Jane wraps up her workday around 5 and leaves the office and begins to drive home. She drives a white Mercedes-Benz. It's a little SUV.
She's doing great.
Yep, the license plate ML350. Or no, that's the car model. Sorry.
That's what it is. Yeah, it's a 350.
ML350.
It's a nice car.
350. That's nice. So 4:40 to 6:26 p.m. in this area. Jane's phone is using cell sites in the geographic area consistent with the residence on Middlesex Road, heading toward that way. So at some point in there, the phone gets to the house. She pulls in to the garage of her home here. She was on the phone with her daughter on the way home and told her daughter, I'll call you back when I get inside and put my shit down and get settled. I'm going to take a crap real quick. I'll call you. You know how people do. So she never calls her daughter back, though.
Oh.
And this is unlike Jane. Jane doesn't get sidetracked. She said she'll call you.
Yeah.
She'll call you if she said so. So 9 p.m. that night, Bob heads to the Hard Luck Lounge. Okay. Now, that night, out of nowhere, he never does this, but that night, he shows up at 9 o'clock and starts sweeping the alley behind the bar.
Sweeping the alley?
Sweeping an alley behind the bar. And, like, they thought that was weird. The employees said he liked to be like a big shot. Like, he's never touched a broom in this fucking joint. Right. He'd tell somebody, go sweep the
guy's got
alley.
An apron on.
He ain't sweeping the alley.
Yeah.
He just would walk around the bar, they said, and that night he just walked around. Then he sat in a booth where him and a friend had some drinks and chatted. About an hour later, Bob said, "See you later," and took off. So he showed up, swept the alley, had a couple of drinks, and left.
All right.
So there you go. Once home, he calls the Grosse Pointe Park Public Safety Department.
Yeah.
And says, "My name is Bob Bashara. I live on Middlesex. I don't want to overreact, and maybe this is too soon to call, but my wife is not around and she's not answering her cell phone. Her car and her phone and her purse are gone, and I'm just a bit concerned."
Oh, he's at the house.
He's at the house now.
No car.
And he said, nobody's there. So that's when he calls. And he says, "I expected her home around 8 p.m., and he says that she failed to arrive for a planned discussion about their taxes."
About their taxes?
That sounds fun, huh? Make an appointment with your wife to talk about your taxes? That sounds great.
That's a real shit night.
Yeah. He says he thought that she must be running errands around 8 o'clock, and she wasn't there. Now, the cop who took the call said that his tone was conversational, mildly concerned, but not visibly distraught, that matches his words. He said, "I don't know if I'm overreacting. This could be nothing. I don't want to sound like a, crazy hair on fire guy, but, whatever." So into the next morning here, over the course of the night, Bob calls a bunch of family members and friends.
Looking for her. Yeah.
And also Rachel.
Oh.
He calls Rachel to tell him, "My wife's missing."
Oh.
Okay. Now, she said he sounded frustrated, but not panicked, just frustrated. Like, she's fucking missing. Ugh, that's annoying. He also called the police back multiple times over the course of the night. Not sure what was said. He also, that night, by the way, Rachel, when she got home, texted him, "Home, sir."
Oh, gross.
Ugh, I don't like that at all. I don't like that at all.
Every aspect of her life is domination.
That's what I mean. It's creepy as fuck. So, yeah, she's basically an abuse victim who's willing to be an abuse victim, but it's also like, hey, not
She's
good.
living the Renaissance Festival every day with abuse.
With constant abuse. She might as well be in the stocks getting fruit thrown at her. It's not good.
Well, she's saying the lingo and the speaking in a, what I mean? That's so weird. That's
in
so weird.
That whole world, totally.
Yeah.
So Wednesday, January 25th, the next day, 7 a.m. Okay. Here we go. Now, it's a northeast side of Detroit. A lot of shit gets dumped over here. There's a tow truck driver named Frank Leone. Or Leone, however you want to put it. He's driving through the area that day. He's got a company that he works for called HB Land Towing. And they're contracted with the Detroit Police Department to pick up stolen or abandoned vehicles. And the city pays them.
Sweet gig.
So this neighborhood is constantly full of abandoned shit because it's where people dump stolen cars and shit like that. Right. So basically the drivers from all the towing companies that the city works with just circle these blocks waiting for shit so they can jump on it and get the gig. So, and they're trying to get as many as possible. Now, this guy was on a midnight shift, so it's close to the end of his shift here. Now, the sun hasn't quite come up yet because it's January, so it comes up at like 8 o'clock in the morning. Now, he spots a Mercedes-Benz ML350 SUV in an alley behind an abandoned house. At 19416 Annott Street. And he's like, and it's not fucked up. It's not taken apart. It's, they're
it's
like.
It's a shit neighborhood with a very nice car behind an abandoned building, and it's all still together. What the fuck?
Yeah, somebody probably stole it and dumped it here. That's it. They stole it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have nothing to do with it, so they dumped it here, which that makes sense. So he said he thought it was weird that it hadn't been stripped, only dropped off, but. He said if it sat there for more than a few hours, it would have been taken apart. He thought, they said they would have taken everything because it's fully perfect.
Yeah.
So
James, a cop car caught on fire down the street from my house. I don't live in a terrible neighborhood, but the cop car sat there for 2 days. A day later, that's cop car was sitting on its frame and the wheels were gone. Doors were bashed in my neighborhood. Like it's not.
Yeah.
You leave a car sitting for too long and it's obvious that it's abandoned. People will take shit off of it.
Yeah. Well, no one wants that anymore, and they'll take it.
It was sitting on its brake rotors.
Jesus Christ, that's awesome. So this tow truck driver is not allowed to tow vehicles without a cop present.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's part of the deal. So what he did is he scraped the ice off the SUV's windshield a little bit just on the bottom and got a grease pencil and wrote HB Land on the rear. He wrote down the VIN. Then he went to the back and wrote with a grease pen HB Land on the rear window.
Yep.
That shows the other truck drivers. They claimed it, and he's just waiting for a cop. So he called the Eastern District Police Precinct's abandoned vehicle officer to report the find, then drove off to look for more jobs as he awaited the call back from them so he could go back and get it, basically. He gets the call back, but the problem is that when he goes back, he's not able to tow the car because the cop looked through the window and saw what looked like a woman's dead body in the car.
There's a body in it.
There's a body in here, which isn't good. So the cop calls the Detroit homicide police section here, obviously. So they get a homicide investigator to come check this out. They get a veteran guy who comes on down and, he does. They said he does tons of cases. He's done, shitloads of hundreds of cases. He's been involved in homicide cases. Now, another homicide cop joins him. So they have a couple of veteran people.
Yeah.
They show up. They find that the body in there, it's a woman. She's fully clothed, wearing slippers, house slippers. This is important because in 2012, a respectable woman in her 50s ain't wearing slippers out of the house.
No.
Now every 18-year-old doesn't know how to tie a fucking shoe. So I assume they don't because they never wear shoes with laces on them. I'm sure they know, but
picked up my daughter from volleyball last night. I got a coffee and I was at the coffee shop surrounded by children. Every one of them was in slip-ons, slippers, or fucking Crocs. There was not a lace out there.
No, they don't know. I just think people gave up on teaching their kids how to tie shoes, so they just said, hey, take these.
Anything's
slip them on.
too possible. Yeah.
I'm not sure, but that's an age thing. I don't know. So again, that's like the bands in the beginning. Like,
they were on bicycles, James.
Okay, no, you can't wear slippers on a bicycle.
You can't wear
ridiculous.
Crocs on a bike.
No, that's stupid.
Unbelievable.
So that's what she's. They're like, okay, she's wearing slippers. They think that the body's kind of posed in the driver's seat. Basically, her windpipe, we'll find out, is crushed. There's bruises all over her upper body, and she has fingernails broken off, like she's been in a struggle.
Yeah.
They find out there that it is Jane, wife Jane, in the car. Of course, poor Jane. She did nothing to anybody, this poor woman. She sustained multiple blunt force trauma blows, meaning that in addition to being strangled, she was beaten. And the autopsy finds extensive bruising to her upper body, crushed windpipe consistent with manual strangulation, broken fingernails missing and snapped off, consistent with the fight, the slippers and all that. And she has a broken neck, they find out.
Wow.
As well. Yeah.
Broken neck.
Yeah, somebody just squeezed her neck off. Yeah. See what happens? That's why no one's getting choked. That's how it goes. Broken neck. Which looks like if somebody was strangling you, she was trying to get them off of her neck, essentially. And they said the slippers, This is a type of a lady, kind of a classy lady in a classy car and all this type of shit. She will only wear slippers places she feels safe enough to wear slippers.
Right.
Like at her house.
At home, yeah.
Places like that. Yeah, they're like, a woman like her doesn't go shopping in slippers. She doesn't. She'll put something else on for that. She doesn't drive to meetings in slippers. None of that shit at all here. So they said they're trying to figure out how did this happen because she was on the phone with her daughter.
Right.
They know that, so they're like, did she go in the car, change into her slippers, and then come back outside for something, or why would she do that, or did she have slippers on to begin with? They check all the whole car, too, by the way. Her checkbook is in the car.
Oh, shit.
Her purse is in there.
Oh, no.
Full of credit cards, debit cards, all the trappings of upper middle class life.
Reason to break somebody's neck.
Yeah. So they're like, okay, because at first they like, maybe this is carjackers.
Right.
And they got scared when they had to kill her and they ran away. So they didn't get to take anything. But they said carjackers, especially ones in fucking Detroit that know what they're doing. Yeah. They'll take her phone, her credit cards. They said there's a $600 Coach purse sitting on the fucking sitting there with full of other shit that's valuable. So yeah, no one's doing that, and it's an $80,000 car. Right? They're like, no one's just leaving all this here. No one would kill someone for nothing. So they take her to the medical examiner. Like I said, cause of death is ruled a homicide by strangulation.
Right.
And I said crushed windpipe is consistent with 2 hands wrapped around her throat, along with the bruising. Pressure applied long enough and hard enough to collapse the laryngeal cartilage.
The cartilage, too?
Yeah. And they said she sustained blunt trauma, meaning she was beaten.
God.
So this is a lot. And a broken neck.
Yeah.
So they figure out that it's Jane, like we said, and they matched the car to the missing persons report that Bob had filed the night before. They're like, okay, this woman, this car, this guy reported it missing. This all makes sense. So a bunch of cars show up to Bob's and Jane's house to make a death notification. From what I understand, Jane isn't there, or Bob isn't there at that moment. Bob's actually at the realtor's office at that point.
Oh.
Yeah, which is interesting. So anyway, they're talking about final details. When they finally talked to Bob, essentially, the accounts of the officers who told him said that he had a lack of reaction or emotion, which is interesting. And other family members and friends who came to the house in the hours afterwards said the same thing. They said he exhibited grief and anguish, and then some people said he didn't. So it's like, we don't know which is which here. Yeah. So the cops in their notes say that he doesn't seem real broken up about this whole thing.
It's not sad.
That very evening on the front lawn of Grosse Pointe South High School, where she was president of the Mothers Club, the community holds a candlelight vigil for Jane. Her ministers leading the prayer. Hundreds of people show up. Yeah. Everybody from church shows up. Bob's there, obviously.
He better fucking be. There's a candlelight vigil, and it's somebody close to you. You gotta be there.
You gotta be there. And people said that he was present but didn't speak. He didn't address the crowd or anything like that.
You gotta be the ringmaster tonight.
Well, Bob begged Rachel by text and phone and email not to come to this. Or I'm sorry, to come to this, so she comes.
Oh.
They hug at the vigil, and people are like, who the fuck is this broad he's hugging?
What the fuck?
That's odd. But they were like, who knows? Maybe that's an old friend we don't know about. Yeah. Somebody from college. Who the hell knows? So some people said they didn't recognize Rachel, but the problem is everybody that knows him from the Wayne State Board knows who Rachel is because she works there. Yeah. So a lot of people do know, and they're like, that's interesting. Now, Bob at the vigil mentions to Rachel that he's got a theory of what happened to his wife.
Oh,
he knows what happened. Yeah. He says that, I know what happened. He goes, this was a carjacking.
Was it?
She works in Detroit, and he says, that's when he uses the moment to say those N-words, carjacked her and took her fuck. Yeah, it's Detroit. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Remember, it's the ghetto nucleus, as that reviewer said. That's what it is. So he's just like, I can just blame that. Must have been some black guys in the city. I don't know.
Cool, yay.
That's what he said, yeah. So that day, or the next day at Wayne State, by the way, Rachel is at her desk, And by the end of the workday, she's been fired.
What?
They shit can her. They fire her. She walks out. They figured it out. They figured out that he was having an affair with her, and he's on the board, and she works there, and now his wife is dead, and the whole thing is just whole thing is just a little too unsightly to have at the university.
Yeah.
January 26th to 30th. This is very interesting. Okay. The 26th, Bob was told by the police, and he drops off an envelope for Joe Gentz at the thrift store where Gentz volunteers. Mm-hmm. He tells the woman who receives the envelope that it's payment for a job is what's in there. Right. So Gentz, the day before, had been seen with $800 or $900 in cash.
Dang.
Well, some of it he uses to buy a new cell phone, which he doesn't have that much cash sitting around all the time. January 27th is the closing on the cottage on Kensington Avenue. It's scheduled that afternoon, but Bob can't close on it, obviously. Can't close on that shit. He's got his wife is dead. He's got no money. What's he supposed to do? So he says, can't do that right now. That same day, Grosse Pointe Park police chief announces publicly that Bob is a person of interest in the investigation.
Oh, really?
They have ruled out some N-words in the city, as he put it.
Is that right?
Yes. They were like, nope. Sorry, Bob.
We ruled them all out, Bob.
Every one of them. At least the ones in the city. So the chief says there's no other persons of interest at that time.
Yeah.
And also tells the Detroit Free Press that Bob has taken a polygraph and failed it. We'll talk about that. January 28th, Bob's first attorney, David Grime, delivers a letter to the Grosse Pointe Park police, and the letter identifies Joseph Getz as a possible suspect. So he's trying to tell on Joseph Getz.
Uh-huh.
The letter is based on Bob's claim that Getz had been threatening him and bothering him in the weeks before the murder.
That's what the lawyer said?
That's what the lawyer said to the cops. Meanwhile, they've been corresponding constantly. Yeah, Greem, one of the time.
Oh,
okay. The letter, though, it's interesting that no one in his life, including Rachel or anybody else, had ever heard Bob mention being threatened or harassed by Joe Gentz.
Right.
And matter of fact, it's the opposite. They say that he follows him around like a dog. It's different. Before the murder happened, Joe and Bob were on the phone 15 times a day. After the murder, they stopped talking to each other, and now all of a sudden, Joe is this guy he's been afraid of for weeks, and now it's horrifying.
That's weird.
Yeah, so they have to investigate the police. Mm-hmm. They first have to find out, because they find out he's been asking about, can you T-bone my tenant and all that. So they had to find out, where's this tenant? Who is that? Yeah. Make sure he's talking about somebody different. One of the guys he said that to is a guy named Steve Tabato, or Tybato, whatever. Everyone's name is hard to fucking pronounce today. This person, Steve, would later testify at the later on here that Bob had asked him about T-boning or running over a female tenant who was making his life hell. Mm-hmm. He also said variations of this to a guy named Paul Monroe as well. Then there's another guy we'll bring up later on named Larry Ellington. That's very fun here. Nobody ever found out who this possible tenant could be.
Can't figure it out.
No, but there's no actual female tenant who fits anything he's talking about. So that makes no sense. Then they say, all right, we got to look at cell site data. Let's look at the tower data and see what happens. So at 6:26 p.m., unlike what Bob said, both Jane's phone and Bob's phone are using the same cell tower near the household.
Yeah.
Now, he's saying I haven't seen her. Their phones are together.
Phones are together.
Yeah. So this is interesting. Now, 6:26 to 6:28, both phones begin to move away from the area of the home.
Okay.
Jane's phone moves north. Bob's phone moves back toward the Hard Rock or the Hard Luck Lounge.
Right.
So now they're going in opposite directions. So that's interesting. Now, what they think happened here, 6:30 p.m., a little bit later, Jane's phone is riding, they believe, along with her body, moving away from the home and into Detroit, picking up successive cell towers as it goes. Yeah. After 8:42, her phone stops. From that point until the next morning when the body's found, the phone uses one particular cell site, which is in the area of where the car was found in Detroit. So which was near an alley near Pinewood and Annott, Annott. Sure. So the phone was now stationary the whole time. Now, Bob drove, when he drove away, he goes back to the Hard Luck Lounge area where he establishes himself in front of the bar staff and tenants. That's when he went and swept.
Sweeping the alley, yeah.
Yeah, he's seen doing that, kind of manufacturing his own alibi.
Yeah.
After about 5 p.m., though, all the calls on Jane's phone are incoming calls, nothing from her end going out.
Oh.
11 p.m. is when he calls to report his wife missing. So that's the whole day and how it breaks down.
Yeah.
Now, January 30th, investigators publicly state that they believe Jane was murdered in her home in the garage and that her body was then moved into the SUV and abandoned in Detroit.
That is
yeah.
That's not a theory. That tells me they know something.
They're saying right away, well, between the phone shit and the slippers and all that, they're like, she wasn't going to downtown Detroit right then. That wasn't part of this. So they said that, it wasn't a carjacking, they don't believe. The press starts asking why the husband didn't notice anything if he was home all night.
Yeah.
January 31st, 2012, day of the funeral at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So the funeral is going to be later in the day. 3 o'clock in the morning, a man walks into the Grosse Pointe Park police station and asks to speak with investigators on the Jane Bashara case.
Yeah.
He's a big, heavy-set, visibly nervous guy named Joseph Gentz.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh is right. Gentz had been driven by the station by a friend of his. This friend, I guess, talked later on here and said that Gentz had told him, and later on the police, that Bob had pointed a gun at him and said, "Do it now," and then Joe killed Jane.
Oh, my God.
That's what he told his friend.
He killed somebody at gunpoint?
Apparently, that's what he's saying. He said, go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
Now, Gentz tells the Grosse Pointe Park investigators a version of that story.
Yeah.
He said he killed Jane because Bob made him, Bob threatened him and paid him, and also promised him an old Cadillac, and that Bob owes him money that he still hasn't paid yet.
Oh, shit.
Deadbeat. So the police, they don't immediately take this at face value. They said that basically they could tell right away that this guy isn't all there, Gentz. He's kind of
Give us some
slow.
proof, Joey.
Well, yeah, he's a little slow. Then they look into it a little bit, and they find out that he's got a 67 IQ, and he's cognitively limited. And, so basically also they don't know if he's just dumb, if he's drunk. Is another thing they think of. Is he dumb? Is he drunk? Is he he's got bipolar?
Yeah.
Is he off his meds?
Mm-hmm.
That's the other thing.
Just a physical disability that causes him to have some sort of
we don't know.
Delusions. We don't know.
So basically he says all this, and then they go, all right, well, have a good one.
Take care,
and
Joe.
He gets up and leaves.
Okay.
Because they don't believe him, basically. So that's that. Now, it's very interesting. Now, the WDIV, which is a TV station, reports that a Joe, they don't use his last name, is telling investigators he was directly involved in the murder of Jane, but was forced to be involved by another person who was in the room. So that comes out publicly. 10:30 a.m., Jane's funeral is held at the Grosse Pointe Memorial Church. Hundreds of people are there, including a congressman.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Everybody's there. Yeah, Bob attends, of course. They catch Bob leaving, with the suit on and all that, because local media has him here. Now, 2:24 p.m., the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office tells reporters they have not been presented a warrant request in the homicide investigations. They said, are you going to arrest anybody? And they go, the cops have not come to us for a warrant. So until they have a case, what are we supposed to do? Problem is, one of the fingernails is a piece of it's recovered.
Where was it?
Not sure exactly. Possibly in the car, possibly in the garage.
Yeah.
Either way, it's matched against DNA.
Oh, it's got DNA under it.
It's got DNA under it because she fought like a bastard here.
Yeah.
So basically what ended up happening is they think, after they put all this together, that she pulled into the garage. Gentz was waiting in the garage for her. According to this, Joe must have jumped out and strangled Jane in the garage. Now, Joe Gentz has different versions of the story. In one, he's standing there holding a gun on Joe saying, "Shut her up, do it now." Later on, though, he says that Bob had told him to come over and help him move boxes, so he came over. He said that Bob was already there. Jane and Bob were arguing, and Jane was telling Bob to get his shit out of the garage. It's at that point Bob pulled a handgun and held it out to Joe, not on him, but to him, and said, "Shut her up, do it now." That's the story that he gives. Or that's what they're talking about, what they think happened here. Telling her, "Shut her up, do it now." He said after he did it, then Bob stood over the body and addressed the corpse saying, "I'm sorry, baby, I didn't mean it."
Okay.
So after she was dead, he said they loaded her body into the back of her own SUV, drove to an alley, and then posed her in the driver's seat as if she had been ambushed in her own car. So that's what they were there. They said they left her there in her slippers and just let her fucking be there. So the funeral was 6 days after the whole thing, after the murder. The husband's already been named publicly a person of interest. Mm-hmm. The press are all over this shit like you wouldn't believe. They're so all over this shit. And they have this handyman that walked into a station at 3 a.m. and told the cops that he'd done it. So it's all very confusing. Yeah. But then February 1st, 2012, the story breaks here. Here we go. There are cameras from a local station outside Bob's house, and he said that he refuses to comment on the latest allegations against him by Joe. He just says by Joe, meaning Gentz. And then he says right into the cameras, "I did not kill my wife. I had nothing to do with this."
Okay.
That's what he says right in the camera. So the press now has this successful lady found in an alley, her husband who's bombastic. They got a guy with a 67 IQ saying he did it. This is turning into a real circus here. So Bob here, back to that polygraph, he took the polygraph examination voluntarily at the police department and failed it miserably.
Right.
So while he's doing that, though, the police execute a search warrant of his home. They removed computers, they took pictures, they, documented where everything was, all that shit. So they figure out what's going on here. They get everything. They get the laptops open. They see emails between Bob and Rachel and Bob and Janet and Bob and various alt.com correspondence, which is not looking good to anybody.
No.
Then they told the Detroit Free Press, or the Detroit Press in general, that he had failed a lie detector as well. The cops tell him that. So now he looks like a bad guy.
Yeah.
He was trying to be, hey, I'm upstanding guy. My wife got hurt. I don't know why anybody's looking at me. Then February 2nd, several publications now talk about Bob's double life. It's now a fucking headline news.
They found out.
Yep, that Bob led a double life centering on, quote, the underground world of sadomasochism and sexual deviancy with women other than his wife. Mm-hmm. So there you go. That's one of the quotes from one of the papers, but they were all basically a version of that. Right. The Detroit News breaks specifically that Bob had maintained a sex dungeon in the basement of the Hard Lung. This is fascinating for local people. I've driven by there. There was sex dungeon shit going on in there.
I had no idea.
Yep. Every news cycle introduces another layer. The sex dungeon, the mistresses, Master Bob, Slave Rachel. Alt.com, whips, floggings, cocaine, A2 reformatory, cottage, bringing in a third and beating her so she's marked for 3 months. All this is coming out.
He's in so much trouble.
So what would you do? Put your head in,
I'd love to talk about my options.
But I mean, like, to get away from this, you'd probably sit in a closet for a day, right? In the dark.
You gotta lock yourself somewhere.
He goes on Good Morning America.
Stop it.
He does the Corey Richins.
Hi, Al Roker, please.
Yeah. February 7th, 2012, in the midst of all of this, not like a month went by.
Good morning, Mr. Strahan.
Oh, man. Yeah, hey, oh, God, Jesus. So it continues. Now, they're searching his house. Like I said, they're doing all this shit. He appears on camera, though, holding hands with his daughter.
Oh, Jesus.
And he said about his wife, quote, "We had a very good, open relationship."
We what?
Now, does he mean we were open with each other, or does he mean an open relationship? Like she didn't mind if I fucked other women?
Right.
And he's left that ambiguous, I feel, on purpose. He said, "I'm frightened about this. To know that I could spend the rest of my life in jail for a crime I didn't commit is a very scary thing." Now, they asked him about Joe Gentz.
Yeah, how about this guy?
And he said, quote, "I do believe that he's the one that did it. He wanted more money from me. He badgered me. And yes, I do believe that he is capable of it."
He believes it.
He believes it 100%.
Is it because he saw it happen?
As I was there and helped dispose of the body. I seen it. So he said, they asked him about the allegation that Joe leveled that Bob held him at gunpoint to force him to strangle his wife.
Right.
Bob said, quote, "I don't own a firearm."
No?
I don't own a firearm, and I absolutely had nothing to do with this. That is a sick assessment on his part. It just shows how deranged he is.
He's crazy.
He's deranged, this guy.
Yeah.
Asked about the BDSM stuff, he said, quote, "I don't want to get into that. I have my children to worry about."
I don't want them to know.
Oh, man.
They call me Daddy Bob.
Yeah, that's a different kind. But I'm in charge still. It's the same thing. Yeah. He said, "The fact that they've named me the person of interest is unthinkable to me. Oh. That they think I could have harmed my sweetheart. We loved each other." Mm-hmm. My sweetheart. Okay. After that, more witnesses start coming forward. Paul Monroe is a witness that said Bob he talked to Bob around Christmas, and Bob said that it was going to be his last Christmas with his wife, and that Bob admitted to him after the fact that he'd paid Joe to kill Jane because divorcing her would, quote, "be like losing money."
Oh, my God.
He's like, he told me he had this guy do it. Then Janet goes to the police, too.
Yeah.
That's not good. She said that she overheard Bob on the phone with a man later identified to her as his handyman. The handyman, Janet said, would obviously is Joe Gentz. The conversation she remembered was, quote, "His voice became elevated and I heard him say, 'What in the hell is wrong with you? I want this done. I want it done now.'"
Get to work. Yeah.
I mean, that could be fixing somebody's air conditioning unit, though. Yeah. You know what I mean? That could be anything. So that's kind of tough. After the murder, Bob would call Janet and ask her, this is wild. He called after the murder and asked her to hide Rachel. Hey, listen, you live out of state. Yeah. Take Rachel out of state and away from the police. There's a ranch in Oregon. Take her out there and you guys just hang out there. She didn't do that, but she did go to the cops. So,
could you go to Oregon and ride horses for me?
Please? Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Maybe you guys could, I don't know, go lesbian, open up a coffee shop in Portland, something. You live a life. That's all I'm saying.
What I'm saying is get yourself a Subaru and have a scissor weekend.
Get on in there. So that's how she said. Now, Pat Webb, police ask him about the cheaper to kill the bitch comment as well. Pat Webb talks to the cops. They also report, because it's been reported that Bob had a relationship with a mistress who was identified pretty quickly as Rachel Gillett, who obviously was employed with Wayne State University.
Yeah.
Now, Gillett had been talked to by the cops and let go already. In early March, they raid her home.
Uh-oh.
And they leave carrying 7 cardboard boxes and an evidence bag.
Shit.
Correspondence. March 3rd, 2012, this is right after her house is raided, Joe Gentz is finally arrested. They hadn't arrested nobody. Even the guy came in and said, "I killed her." They didn't even arrest him yet.
Listen.
So
go home.
Yeah. He's arrested in Mount Clemens, Clemens, which, by the way, is Jane's hometown. He's charged with first-degree murder and held at the county jail.
Ooh.
Joe is. Now, March 9th here, they report, and this is so enraging when I hear dumb shit like this. The press reports this. The clothing Jane had been wearing at the time of her death, that might have DNA, hair, fibers.
It's lost.
All sorts of shit. Is missing, completely gone.
Of course it's lost.
Just the most important murder case, the most high-profile murder case we have, we don't know where anything is.
We put it back on her and buried her in it.
Yep. Well, they said that the clothing had been supposed to ship from Wayne County Medical Examiner to the Michigan State Police Crime Laboratory. Instead, it had been picked up by the funeral home along with Jane's body and disposed of. The fucking funeral home just threw her clothes out, burned them, bro. Who knows?
Yeah, I bet they do that a lot.
If I had an incinerator that went that high, I'd burn everything. I'd burn an old car. I wouldn't matter. It's going right in there. Fucking one tire.
I wouldn't have shit on Facebook Marketplace.
No, I would have no garbage. I wouldn't even get pickup. I'd be like, nope, I burn it all. Just burn it in that thing. Yeah. So anyway, that's what happened. Now the Detroit police and the Grosse Pointe Park police in public blame each other for this.
Really?
Yep. And the medical examiner said it's just routine procedures and something got screwed up. But that's a big screw up. Big. Yeah. They still have the fingernail, the DNA, but that could have helped too.
Yeah.
April 2012, Bob is still not arrested.
Say again?
He's still out there.
They only arrested Joe?
They just arrested Joe. At this point, he's free, living at the home, working at the Hard Luck Lounge, calling and emailing Rachel.
Yeah. Without him, Joe's got no interest or reason to do this.
No, he doesn't have. What the hell is he going to get out of it? Nothing. Yeah. It's stupid. And by the way, Rachel, after her home got raided, took out a protection order against him, and he just ignores that and keeps calling
just
her.
Comes over anytime. Yeah.
So there's several reasons he should be in jail at this point. And also the DNA, they come out that it doesn't match Bob, but does match Joe. Which is exactly what Joe said. Then there's the phone records that show that the contact between Joe and Bob didn't stop on January 25th. It continued. They were calling each other, texting each other, and all the way through the funeral week.
What the fuck, boys?
Yeah. So that seems a little bit silly. It tells quite the story here.
Yeah.
About that. And also, they're talking about the phones and how they were separated. His Bob's phone and Jane's phone were both at home, and then they went in opposite directions. Then there's a guy, remember Steve Tabato that we talked about? Okay, he is a Detroit area furniture and appliance store owner and an acquaintance of Bob, but not apparently a BDSM friend,
guy.
just a friend. Sometime in the late spring of 2012, Joe Gentz, who was in the county jail on first-degree murder Bob approaches Steve Tabato, and the request is that he said, quote, this is from Steve, quote, "Hey, can you arrange to have somebody take care of him?"
In the joint?
In the joint. And so this Steve Tabato said that he wanted Gentz killed, and Steve said, "I told him anybody could be hit anywhere they're at." So per what Tabato says here, Bob also told him that and he'll tell another guy later on, that he was worried about Gentz's upcoming competency hearing.
Yeah.
He said if Gentz is found competent to stand trial, he said it would be his life if Gentz were found competent to stand trial. And Tabato said that, quote, he said he needed to have Mr. Gentz taken care of before his competency hearing. He said, "This is my life. I have to have something done with that guy."
Oh, boy.
Okay. So at this point here, Bob or Tabato just ends up going to the Wayne County prosecutor's office.
And giving them a call and telling them about it?
Yep.
He's trying to get me to kill people behind bars.
It's crazy. So then the prosecutor's office, in coordination with the FBI, fitted Tabato with a recording device, and he's going to wear a wire now.
Yeah.
I love this. So he went back to Bob. They had more conversations, all captured on tape, discussing the hit, discussing payment, discussing how Tabato would be expected to arrange for an actual gunman or assailant inside the jail to do the actual killing.
Yeah.
Probably use shank would probably be less. Gunfire in a jail is going to draw some attention. Tabato takes $2,000 in cash as a down payment, so now it's a thing. And on a hit, and between them, they set the total price at about $20,000. On one of the tapes, Bob said the line that's going to come up later on, again and again in court. He said, quote, "Once I pay the money, it's a fucking conspiracy again." Again.
That's two.
That's two. So June 25th, 2012. It's almost 6 months.
Yeah.
He's arrested finally.
Finally, yeah.
Almost 5 months.
Because of the
he's
again.
arrested.
Yeah.
Again, yeah. And all they were waiting to get all the tape, so they had him dead to rights on that shit. So they arrested him at his home. He is charged with the solicitation of murder is what he's charged with, not killing his wife for the Joe Gentz solicitation. Right. That's what he's being charged
And
with.
that's plenty for now. We can work about the other one.
Long as we keep him with no bail, fuck it. His first attorney tells reporters, quote, "It's not often that I find myself speechless, but this is one of those occasions. I was completely surprised."
Okay.
He said that Bob's been in complete disbelief when he was told what he was arrested for, and he said that once he was told, all Bob could say is, "This is a setup.
It's a frame job.
Must be somebody that hated my dad or something. It's a setup." The lawyer also tells another reporter that Bob was so unstable upon intake into the jail that he was placed on suicide watch, which is very normal for a normal guy to be arrested for murder. They put him on suicide watch.
You got to keep an eye on him. Yeah.
It's like when they get sentenced, they're on suicide watch for the next week.
You know, it is really annoying when somebody is charged with something and they don't watch them and then they fucking commit suicide.
I have no problem with that.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. But
you just saved us hundreds of thousands of dollars.
You're probably
Appreciate
right,
it. I don't understand people's obsession with, I want to look at him while they tell him. I don't care. Is he off the streets? Great. None of my business what else happens.
It is frustrating
he kills himself.
when they,
Thank you.
When they put you through all that and then they commit suicide.
Don't care. They're dead. What do you care? People want it exactly how they want it. Not only do I want them in trouble, but then I want them to sit there. Then I want them to suffer. I want them to feel like this, and then they want to kill him. I don't give a fuck about any of that shit. Is he dead? Awesome. Moving on. Who cares?
Yeah, generally, if they commit suicide, it's rarely like, you know what I mean? They rarely go, oh, that guy didn't do it after all. That never happens.
That never happens. They find 5 more people he killed usually.
They find more times that they did some bad shit.
Yeah, he's like, oh shit, I better kill myself before they find the rest of it. So the lawyer said that he was in complete disbelief and the setup and all that kind of thing. He said, this is what he said about Bob. In a state that I would describe almost as despondency, I indicated to police officials that I was worried about his well-being and I believe that they put him on a suicide watch. So he's arraigned 2 days later, and that's how it is. By the way, they said that Bob's a danger to the community and could easily contract another hit. So please don't let him out, and he never makes bond. Yeah. October 4th, 2012, Bob's lawyer is given permission to quit, and another lawyer comes on board.
Oh, he doesn't want anything to do with it. Yeah.
Too much, out of my league here, or whatever his thoughts were. October 11th, 2012, Bob pleads guilty to solicitation of murder for Joe Gentz. So he's on wiretap. He can't do shit. So there's sentencing, and during sentencing, he talks.
Bob.
And he said that he had nothing to do with his wife's death. This is not what he's being arrested for.
It doesn't matter right now.
Nope. He said that, none of that shit. He did say, he said, quote, I know I absolutely did wrong. What I did was inexcusable and I have no one to blame but myself. I understand that I must pay for what I've done. I absolutely stand before you and my family and the world to take responsibility for my actions.
Oh.
Which is okay. Sure. He's going all in on the remorse card to get less time. And the judge says, you, sir, may fuck off 80 months to 20 years in prison. Which isn't bad for trying to get a man murdered. That's pretty low.
What is that? It's over 5 years.
Yeah, 80 months, 8 times 12.
Years.
12 is 60. So it's like, 7 and change to 20. 7.5 to 20, basically, which that's not bad. For him, that's not too bad at all. 2019 would make him eligible for parole.
Oh.
At that point, which is hard. That's
not bad.
Less than 7 years away. That's not bad at all for that. Then Larry Ellington, who was Bob's cellmate at the Oaks Correctional Facility, will end up testifying later that Bob talked to him about wanting hits on 3 different people. Not just Gentz, also Steve Tabato, Gentz, and a man named Timothy Ramsey, who hasn't even come up in this goddamn story yet. Yeah, apparently he's a witness, and according to Ellington, that he wanted to hit all these people to remove them as witnesses. The Cellmate testified later that Bob offered him $5,000 to $10,000 for the additional hits. But he said, it'll take a minute because my money's tied up. You know how it works.
Insurance policies and stuff.
You know, I got to wait for some stuff. Joe Gentz also pleads guilty to second-degree murder, reduced from first as a part of a plea agreement in exchange for his testimony at any future murder trial for Bob.
In case we get him,
Just in case. During his sentencing, Gentz spoke and apologized. He said that he was very sorry for what happened and asked for forgiveness, and maintains that Jane's husband, Bob, promised to pay him for killing his wife. Mm-hmm. The judge said, you had the power of life and death. Did you ever think this is wrong? Did you ever think to spare her? And, you know, he said he knew right from wrong. But, I mean, you're asking a guy who's not all there, too, so who knows? Anyway, they send him off to the Michigan Department of Corrections and eventually the Bellamy Creek Correctional Facility as well. April 17th, 2013, Bob is finally charged with murder for his wife. First-degree premeditated murder, conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, solicitation of first-degree murder, obstruction of justice, bribing, intimidating, or interfering with a witness. Ooh. A lot of charges. He claims indigence, says he has no money, and tells the judge he's attempting to raise funds to obtain new counsel, which he doesn't, so he has appointed lawyers.
Right. Don't worry, we got you covered.
We got you. We got to have somebody. 2016, here's his trial. Gentz doesn't want to testify now. Changed his mind.
Well, you can't.
Yeah. This is in the middle of him when he was actually negotiating for a sentence reduction from what he had.
Yeah?
He's trying to get it down to 5 years in exchange for his testimony.
That's no.
The prosecution said no. They said that, so his lawyer said that if the prosecution wouldn't negotiate, Gentz isn't taking the stand. So they said, well, if he does that, then you're reopening him up to first-degree murder charges under his plea agreement and perjury charges as well.
Right.
So Gentz said, fuck that, no. According to his lawyer said this: even though Mr. Bashara is in prison, Mr. Bashara, having tried to kill him in jail before or paying someone to kill him, that sooner or later is going to happen. This is going to happen in prison in this stretch. That's what my client believes. Mm-hmm. And then Gentz said, quote, I've been called a rat. What do they do with rats in prison? They kill you. Huh? He's like, I'm not getting killed over this shit. Right. Fuck it. So Bob's trial, the prosecution opening, basically, they talk about the closing date being 3 days after the murder, which seems pretty unintentional.
Yeah.
They said, the prosecutor said, quote, he could not afford to have both Rachel and a wife. Yeah. Couldn't do it.
And the other one, too.
And a third, too, to come into the whole thing. And he said that they later on they gave a bunch of evidence about the roughing up my tenant and, you know, and they said the defendant was obviously looking for someone to do violence and found that person when he found Joseph Gentz.
Right.
Then they talk about the last call that he made the night before was to Joseph Gentz. They said the last call the defendant makes at night the day before the murder is to Joseph Gentz. Yeah, so you're going to hear you're going to hear testimony about Gentz's intellectual capabilities. The defendant is not calling him so they can discuss Einstein's theory of relativity. That's hilarious.
He's not even calling him to discuss how a combustion engine works.
Fuck no. Jeez, he said numerous individuals, including Gillett, Rachel, will testify that they had never heard him mention Gentz before Jane's death, and never heard him state that Gentz was threatening or harassing him. They said while Gentz did the physical act of killing Jane, and DNA will prove that, he did it under Bob's direction, and called him the puppet master.
Ooh.
That's good. Okay. Yeah, the puppet master. So that became kind of the whole thing. I got to write that down. That might be good for a title here. It's a nice one for everybody, yeah. So that's what they want to put in. They walked the jury through the crime scene photos. They said there was evidence of staging. If Jane had been killed in a random carjacking, her checkbook, credit cards, debit cards, and cell phone would have been taken, and they were not. The defense opening here, they say this is amazing. His lawyer's primary message is, this is the day that Mr. Bashara has been waiting for.
Has he?
Could not wait for this trial. Yep, said that Jane said, listen, you've been sold a bill of goods by the prosecution. The truth is, Jane knew all this shit.
She's
Jane
aware.
knew what her husband was into, and she was fine with it.
She liked it.
Even though there's no correspondence or anything like that that would back that up. He never said, oh, I'm going to beat some other women now. And she was like, okay, kiss me when you get home.
I got a new cat of nine tails.
Meatloaf in the fridge.
Yeah.
Like, none of that happened. So
Leave my nipple clamps on the cloth.
I'll leave them out there. You can borrow them.
Yeah.
His attorney told the jury that Jane once told a friend that her husband was, quote, getting into some weird sexual stuff, and that Jane had said Bob, quote, could do whatever he wanted to do.
Huh.
I don't care what he does. The defense, it's an open marriage, mutual knowledge, no motive for murder. What the hell's he got to kill her for? She doesn't care. And then this is another thing. She also said, she's the breadwinner. Why would he want her dead? There's reasonable doubt in this trial. He needs her.
It's a great point.
Money. Part of it is she had $800,000 in her 401k, by the way.
He doesn't need her at all.
He doesn't need her at all. An expensive house. Yeah. God knows whatever insurance shit he has.
He could sell so much shit and finance this cottage and fuck anybody he wants, or at least spank him for a while.
And had an income replacement life insurance policy as well.
Oh, Jesus. He was going to be fine.
Wow. Going to be fine. Rachel spends 2 days on the stand.
Oh.
Okay. And they put all the email. Basically, she's like Corey Richins' ex-boyfriend in that trial when he comes and he's on the stand and they're putting all of his text messages up and he's just hanging his head. He's turned around to the back of the court. Like, that's what's going on to her. Yeah. All this, collared shit and my lovely
where'd
slave
you meet him
and all
again?
that.
Shit.
So she said, though, that she talked about how she wanted to leave for a traditional relationship, but Bob was refusing to let her, and talked about the dungeon and what was down there and the shitty partitions and the leather chair for Bob to oversee everything. She tells the jury about being blindfolded with another woman, ending up at the house, and then she slept on the floor. And Rachel said she was upset and freaked out by that.
Yeah.
Okay. The judge speaks to Rachel.
Oh.
And says, why did you keep coming back to him? You've explained all the different times you got away. And she said, you get the apologies, the excuses, the promises, and you want to believe it. It's like anybody in an abusive relationship.
Yeah.
Exactly.
How long you been on the bench, Your Honor?
You don't understand how abusive relationships work? The cross-examination here, because she's cooperating with law enforcement, so she has no charges against her. She has immunity. They work on, she's motivated to lie. That's how she got all that kind of shit. They said she was a willing, desperate, and active participant, not a victim. The lawyer said, he was so important to you that you would do anything, even consent to having a third person living in your dream house together with Bob, right? And she says, yes. Then they say, the truth of the matter is you would do just about anything to make him happy. And she said, yes.
Oh, boy.
And then they said, other than in our BDSM outings, Bob, and in your BDSM outings, Bob never laid a hand on you. And she said, right. Then, this is the defense attorney, said, given everything about Bob, his lies, his life, his role in killing Jane, would you have traded places with Jane? Would you do that? Be the wife instead of the slave? And she said, some days.
Oh, some days I wouldn't.
Some days. So in the middle of the trial, Bob dramatically doubles over and falls on the ground claiming severe pain. He's dying.
I'm going to have a heart attack, yeah.
It's some sort of episode. The trial's halted. Everything's gone. They make a medical assessment. He's fine. Trial resumes. Then a giant power outage hits downtown Detroit, and the whole place loses power, and they have to delay the trial again.
And he didn't have anything to do with that.
No, I guess not. Janet Lehman testifies, the number 3 there, the third. She said did this on a courtroom whiteboard because there was stuff up there. The prosecutor worked through the timeline of the encounter and asked Jane about his sexual performance. That's when she said the night about the beating that was so severe, quote, the chairman of the board didn't show up for work. Sorry, Bob. Sorry to talk about your limp dick in a courtroom, but that's what's going on. The chairman of the board didn't show up.
The CEO was sleepy, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Oh, man. She talked about the beating.
Yeah.
She also talked about the phone call she overheard with the handyman. She talked about the big wad of cash and the whip and rope purchase. Then she said that after Jane's death, Bob reached out to her to hide Rachel as well, which she didn't, and instead went to the investigators. They brought in Sir Patrick Webb. Sir Patrick to talk about the A2 reformatory. And
oh, God.
He described Bob's preferences in the scene, said Bob liked to be in control and insisted as being addressed as Master Bob.
Jesus.
Whenever anybody needs to be addressed as something specific, I think they're an asshole. I don't care. You call me anything you want. I don't give a fuck.
All of this stuff, none of it was meant to be said in a courtroom. And Bob is...
No.
Boy, is he being humiliated right now. If he didn't
is his face red.
If he liked to be humiliated, this would have been, he'd have came right here in this courtroom.
Yep. And they're even making fun of his basement.
Yeah.
Said it was a dingy room, hooks, whips, harnesses, and other equipment.
He had a shithole room.
When they asked the question here, they said, did he use the words that he felt trapped in the marriage? And they said, yes, he did. He felt trapped in the marriage and he wanted to do more in the BDSM community, but he felt trapped with Jane. He didn't use her name. He just said his wife.
Right.
So they said, did you believe all this shit from him? And Webb said, as people talked about divorce one night, it was let out that it would be cheaper to kill the bitch. And he said that, quote, I took it as any other blue-collar American would take it, just blowing off some steam. Did I put any weight to it? No. By the way, they talk about his interesting furniture that he has, BDSM furniture and bondage furniture, and he said, you can't buy BDSM furniture at Lazy Boy.
Can you not?
I got to make it myself. Sorry. They talked to the Steve Tabato who wore the wire. About once I pay the money, it's a fucking conspiracy again. They asked, I guess he gave a statement. They said, what do you think of Bob? And he said, crazy. He screws everyone out of their money.
Yeah.
Then the cellmate comes in and talks about how he wanted Gentz taken care of before the competency hearing. And Ellington, the roommate here, cellmate, said that he said to Bob, quote, you had your wife killed? And Bob said, that's why I need that fucker dead. Had him killed. Then they talk about the gun. He does have a gun.
Where is
by
it?
The way. And right after the murder, he told his elderly mother, Nancy, who's a very respected figure here, to handle some shit for him, asked her to place a bag of items into a safety deposit box at the bank. Inside of there is a gun. It's kind of an antique revolver.
Yeah.
Now, the weapon described in the garage by Joe Gentz was a semi-automatic, so different gun. But now he looks like an even bigger liar because he's been saying, I never own a gun.
So now he might have several guns.
The defense's whole thing is the police are incompetent. They lost the clothes. This is ridiculous. Closing arguments here, the prosecution says it was a reality. A man who was not emasculated. There's a reality of a man who was not emasculated. With his words, he named himself Master Bob and therein created another world. In this, he wrote, soon you will feel my strength and passion. That's not a man who has erectile dysfunction. That's a man who feels loved, adored, and needed. He created a life as a BDSM master. He created one world. He was living in another. The defense said, come on. No, they accused the prosecution of being out to get Bob. They said she's a breadwinner. Why would they want her dead? Come on, basically. Now the verdict comes in. It's 2.5 days of deliberation.
Jesus.
And they find him guilty of everything.
Really?
First degree premeditated, conspiracy, solicitation, obstruction, bribing, intimidating. That's what I'm wondering. They must have had good food in there. They were getting good shit. Bob here was in the room. A reporter said he shook his head once, then again, then a third time. And by the time they read the fifth and final jury verdict, he had dropped his head in his left hand and covered his eyes. He gave up. Or he shook a few times. Then he's just like, fuck it, I don't know what I'm doing. His attorney said he's in shock. He's very disappointed in the verdict. During sentencing, Jane's mother, Lorraine, is 83 years old, and she goes out there to talk. She said, "You took Jane's life, but I want you to live a while because I'm not going to be here that long. But every day I live, I want to think about you rotting in jail and someday burning in hell." That's nice.
Burn in hell.
Yeah, then she said, "Why didn't he just go and live in his scummy little dungeon life and leave my daughter and grandchildren alone? Why did it have to come to that? Why couldn't he just live in his own jizz puddle and be happy with that?"
A scumbag in your little basement.
Bob speaks. He said he denies everything. He talks about his, community service and all that kind of shit that he wants added to the record. He said, "My community service, I want that in the record," and all that kind of shit. Then he said, "I had absolutely nothing to do with my wife's death. I love my Jane dearly. I will appeal this until I can appeal no more."
What a dum-dum.
The judge says, quote, "Your main slave, your wife who bore your two beautiful children, was required to work 12-hour days." I think she wanted to work. She liked her job.
She did, yeah, but she needed to, too.
Yeah, but I mean, that's like saying, that would be like someone saying to Sarah, "You force him to make all these podcasts." These are my idea. I wanted to do, you know what I mean? No one's forcing me to do anything. And after 20 years required to return to the workforce to maintain a fantasy life you were allowed to live. You believed you were smarter than God. Your love was a cancer. You were not a provider. You were a predator. You lived in two worlds, light, your family, community, friends, and darkness, where your lies were your truth and your truth was a lie. I have no mercy for you. You don't want to hear that from a judge before they pronounce sentence. They say an idle mind is the devil's workshop. While your main slave was required to work these days, you were free you were allowed to live and sharpen your manipulative skills by being involved in the BDSM lifestyle. You are a master of manipulation. You, sir, I get the gavel for that, may fuck off. Okay, count 1, premeditated murder, life without parole. Okay, count 2, life. Count 3, solicitation, 18 to 40 years. Obstruction, 1 to 5 years. Witness intimidation, 2 to 10 years. All to run concurrent with the life without sentence, which all, by the way, I think it's consecutive to his original 20 years for the Joe Gentz thing.
Oh, shit.
So once he deals with that, I think it starts. He's in a lot of shit right now. He's in a lot of trouble. And it's even better. In 2016, his dungeon burned down.
It was too dingy.
Yeah, I guess there was a big fire in the building, and as part of the repairs, the basement had to be demolished and all of that destroyed. 2016, he files something with newly discovered evidence, which is Joe Gentz retracting and recanting his entire account of everything. Yep. He wants out of it. He says, "My testimonial statements against Mr. Robert Bashara were the product of coercion and subordination of perjury from the police."
Really?
Yep. He said, that's that. That's what he says. So there's a post-conviction hearing and all sorts of shit. Before Gentz took the stand, the judge said, "This isn't a game. I have no control over what the prosecutor's office does." Anyway, they go back and forth about garbage. Then he says after that, he says that he signed an affidavit not believing not knowing the contents. He said, quote, "I never read what I sign."
Oh, come on.
Well, that's a guy with, I was going to say, how dumb are you? That's 67. That's about how dumb you are. Yeah, pretty dumb. He said, "I had nothing to do with this affidavit." So this is, by the way, the affidavit that's now exposing him to fresh charges because he's lied. The Detroit, per CBS Detroit, he said he described a scene where he said Bob asked him to come over to move boxes. They were arguing, Bob and Jane, in the garage, and she told him to get his shit out of the garage, and Bob handed him the gun, and he said, "I broke her neck. I'll be honest. I did do it." That's what he said. So that's how it goes, and he says that in court, too. He says basically that he doesn't think he'll last 15 years in prison, so he said, if someone sticks you with a homemade shank, you're dead.
It's over,
So basically, he said, I'm on out of this. I just want to say I killed her all by myself and have that be the day. Bob, during this hearing, he testifies. And he talked about the S&M in great detail and told the court that he was different from other men in the lifestyle because he helped one of his former submissives get a job.
I'm a good guy.
I'm different. He also described the press as a brood of vipers that tainted his image as a philanthropist.
Vipers?
Brood of vipers who ruined my image.
Yeah.
So anyway, he also appeals based on the missing clothes, the polygraph leak, and all this type of shit, ineffective assistance of counsel,
Doesn't matter.
the gun in the safety deposit box. It gets denied. His old lawyer said he had a fair trial. It was over and above what's given to most defendants. Justice was fairly meted out in this case. Bob Bashara always thinks he's the smartest person in the room. That is absolutely fucking right.
Yeah.
It goes all the way to the Michigan Supreme Court. They deny his leave to appeal as well. And Jane's great aunt said that ought to take the wind out of his sails. Maybe now he'll just relax and enjoy his time in prison. Shut the fuck up.
Relax.
That's what she just said. Hey, settle down, dickface. Enjoy prison. I like Jane's great aunt.
Maybe you could find somebody to spank in there. Shut up.
I'm sure there's somebody. Tries a federal habeas thing in 2019 that was still pending on August 17th, 2020. He had been moved around the system a lot, all over the place. He ended up in Woodland Center Correctional Facility in Whitmore Lake, Michigan, where he developed liver problems, and he was hospitalized for a little bit. And then on August 17th, he dies.
Hey!
He's dead.
Hey!
Fuck him. Hey, see what I mean? Doesn't that feel great that he's dead? Who cares? I don't care if he's in there for a day or 10 years. He's dead. Fuck him. Yep.
Never
Jane's
got to spank another person.
Never. Jane's sister said, I'm disappointed he only spent 8 years in prison. That is just not long enough for all that he ruined. That's true. The family started something called Turning Point, which can be confused with other things. Like headquartered in Mount Clemens. Donations in Jane's name followed. It was for help people with things. It's a domestic violence organization to help women.
Love it.
There's 2 books here, by the way. Steve Miller's Murder in Grosse Pointe, Privilege, Adultery, and the Killing of Jane Bashara. That's why I didn't give you the name up front of the book. And then there is another one here. Where is that? Oh, by the way, Bob told that author, I'm sure you'll find out when you dig that I didn't do it. And
did he find it?
He said he sure as fuck did it after more research. The second book was George Hunter and Lynn Rosenthal's The Sadist, The Hitman, and the Murder of Jane Bashara.
Good Lord.
Okay, that was in 2018. And that's it. So Joe Gentz continues to...
He lives in jail. Yeah.
He lives in jail. One of the authors said, sex, lies, betrayal, and death. That's something we'll always be interested in as a society.
It's true. Yeah.
It's true. So there you go, everybody. There's Grosse Pointe Park, Michigan, and a fucking crazy story of wild shit there. We'll go through the end quick here because we're running pretty late. So definitely head over to, number one, head over whatever app you're on listening to this on. Give us 5 stars. Give a thumbs up on Netflix. That shit helps. Thank you for doing that. Definitely shutupandgivememurder.com. Tickets for live shows. September 18th, Milwaukee at the Pabst. Only a few left for that, so grab those. The 19th of September in Minneapolis at the State Theater. Get those tickets right goddamn now. Then October 3rd in Dallas, and then it goes on from there. So get your tickets right now. Shutupandgivememurder.com. Follow on social media at Smalltown Murder on Instagram, Smalltown Pod on Facebook. For sure, get Patreon. Patreon.com/CrimeInSports is where you get all the bonus material. $5 a month or above gets you everything we put out, including hundreds, almost 400 back bonus episodes as soon as you subscribe. New ones every other week. One Crime and Sports, one Small Town Murder. That includes this week, Crime and Sports, theme park disasters.
Oh, boy.
Don't have to like sports for that. And then for Small Town Murder, there's a poll up, everybody. It's going to be either The Crash, the Mackenzie Skrilla, or that whole case, or Corey Richards Part 3 with all sorts of new shit that just came out, which is fun as shit. Either way, the one that you don't choose will be the next one. Yeah. Then after both of those, it'll be the prisoner dating game. So get in there early and catch up on everything before that comes out. Patreon.com/CrimeInSports. You also get everything we put out ad-free. And you get a shout out at the end of the show, which is right now. Jimmy, hit me with the names of the best fucking people on earth who put up with our shit and still keep hanging out with us. Hit me with them. Not give me them. Hit me with them right goddamn now.
This week, executive producer Gary Howard in Brownsville, Tennessee.
Gary!
Evidently, that's where Tina Turner was born. I didn't know that.
Hey, congrats on the new grandkid, too, Gary. Gorgeous. Look at you. Enjoy.
Nice. Sharon Petrarca? Petrarca. That's a tough name to say. David Riggs. I know him. Great guy.
Thank you, David Riggs.
Deanne Price. She put her pup Dobby down. That's a brutal day. No good.
That sucks.
Thank you all so much for being a part of this. We appreciate it. Other producers this week, Peyton Meadows, Penny Boyce. Happy Hours in Eagle Mountain, Utah. Where the fuck that is. Janice Hill, Casey Mihalik. Justin Glenn, Thomas Sr., Demented, with no last name. I think that's my grandmother. Spencer M., Katie Coe, Lee Shell, Shannon Thomas, Margie Holly or Hale? I believe it's Hale. I don't know. Misty Seagal perhaps. Christopher Metz, Jeff Kroll, Patrick Weir, Megan with no last name, Ellie Metler. Yes, Jonathan Shepard, Kristen Kindle, Stephen Cooley, Catherine C., Kiara Holland, Stacy Howell, Lauren Cobb, Ryan Miller, Jennifer Lanciani, Nicole Ventura, Kennedy Anderson, Melanie Landers, TVO, Gurman with no last name, Casey Guy, Michelle with no last name, Nikki B, Michelle M, Douglas Daniels, Randall Busby, Sassy One, Heidi Hart, Casey, no, that's Christine with no last name, Kristen Nordland, Nick Healy, Molly Langston, Laura Galloway, Stephen with no last name, Nikki Oss, Sean with no last name, Jenna Griffith, Madeline Herr, Tiffany Lowe, Haley Overall, Michelle, no, that's Michael, Michael Handy, and Amber Huffman Bray, Mike Tillery, Karen Whitcop, Carissa with no last name, Tyler Whalen, Wallen. No, it's Tyler Wallen. That sounds like Morgan's brother, but it's spelled way different. Good for you, Tyler. Lizzie Norton, Sherry Starlin, Dawn Pfeiffer, Delia Hunt. That's probably what it is. Mary with no last name. Mark with no last name. Sally Piper. Dave DePipa. Jessica Harris. Dulce Hall. Nicole McDonald. Kyle Landry. Melissa Hesselgesser. Elsa Williams. Gabriella Howard. Michael Rabanus. Mikhail, perhaps. Winona Kashal, Allen with no last name. Alva Hind, Keith Greenwald, Katrina Gonzalez, Alexa with no last name. Sierra Burcham, Catherine Vogel, Andra McCowan, CJM 15, that's easy. Christine Hansen, Anina. Wow, with 2 eyes. Nick Hallinger, Christy Owens, Benjamin Freeman, Eric C., Melissa Vaughn, Stacy Garrett Purcella, Amber with no last name, Shell Soberg, Emily M., Mr. Moose, Village 5000, Devin Costello, Adam Brasher, Angela Foley, Rhiannon DePiro, Kate with no last name, Becca Brown, Bonnie Hafner, Theodore, and Eleanor Desmore. How do all of your names rhyme? Kelly with no last name, Ellie Gold, Chrissy with no last name, Logan Plummer, Kirsten Riley, Jake Cofield, Aaron German, Zion Nichols, Kristen Garrett, Maria with no last name, AJ Reuter, John Jansen, Jonna with no last name, April Lee, Alice DeHeer, Ellie Hunt, Stephanie Sheehan, Sarah Bailey, Jonna with no last name, Dennis Kasich Jr., Eleonora Serrano, and all of our patrons. You guys are the best.
Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you. You fucking people are awesome, and you're always very cool to us. If you want to, thank you. If you want to follow us on social media or do anything else, shutupandgivememurder.com is the way to find all that shit. Follow us, keep coming back, keep hanging out, and until next week, everybody, it's been our pleasure.
Bye.